All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the live show. This is Starlight Beacon Transmissions live episode 46. Yes, 46. I had to check the show notes real quick for tonight. And tonight we have a great show for you. My name is Eric Mitchell. I am your host. And the show that we have tonight is dedicated to a certain story that has come into our hearts for about a year now. It has made us laugh. It's made us angry. It's made us cry. And it's some of the best damn Star Wars we have ever had, ever told. I mean, if you are like not I mean, if you're like wondering if you should get into the books, these are the books that you want to dive into. For those of you that know, we are talking about Star Wars The High Republic. Yes, we are going to be breaking down all of the High Republic news that dropped this week. We got a little bit of feedback on your mic there. Real quick, Lavender.
Oh no. Okay.
It's okay. No, you're good. You're good.
While we
Um,
get that sorted out, can I just say that if you need a sign to start the High Republic, this is it. This is a really good time to start it
oh,
because
yeah.
we're going between phases right now. Phase 2 doesn't start till October.
Yep.
If you have a friend who's on the fence about getting into it, make them get into it.
Yeah. We are just a few books into this, a bunch of comics into this, and you can pick and choose what you want to read. We're about to get into that here, folks. Tonight we are doing. Let me move my drink real quick. That way I don't spill it. That way I can get my other book here. So tonight we are going to be diving into all the news, and we are going to be covering spoiler reviews of Claudia Gray's The Fallen Star. Look at my boy Stellan Geos on the cover. Look at him. Buryaga.
We got Orla over there.
We've got Orla. We've got
Indira.
Indira Stokes. That's right. And we've got our boy Belzetafar here.
My boy Belzetafar.
Yes. So we're going to be covering a spoiler review of The Fallen Star. And we are also going to be covering spoiler review of the greatest buddy cop comedy ever created.
Hell yeah. I've
Midnight
got the special
Horizon.
Walmart cover.
We're going to have those in a little bit here. But before we get into that, we have to do some introductions. I am not doing this alone, as you can see. And tonight, we have welcoming back. It is my good friend. Nothing bad could ever happen to Stellan Geos. Don't worry. Yeah, exactly, Maggie. You're right. Welcoming back my good friend, Lavender the Librarian.
To be here.
Thank you. It's awesome to have you here. And for her fourth or fifth or sixth or
Something.
seventh or eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th. I'm sorry, the Book of Boba Fett was really long, people.
Yeah. I only came halfway through the book of Boba Fett.
It feels like you came like right as the season started. It feels like.
That's so nice.
Yeah. It's Luna. And
Hi.
the great thing is, we don't have to talk about that show anymore for a long time.
True. Until
So
season 2 comes out.
drink your lemon juice.
Season 4 of
I don't
Mandalorian.
have it with me.
What's that, Lavender?
That'll be season 4 of The Mandalorian.
Yeah, pretty much. Season 4 of The Mandalorian. All right. We have a couple of announcements to get into, and then we're going to dive into the fun here. So next week, we have two shows. We have two shows next week. February 26th, which is my birthday. We will be live at 8 p.m. Eastern. And this episode of our live show next week will be all about the Amazon original series, The Legend of Vox Machina. If you have not watched that yet, you should because it is friggin' amazing. Super fun. It is an animated series, but it is not for kids at all.
True.
I am just saying,
Great
oh,
fun
I
with the
know.
whole family.
Oh yeah, decapitations, people getting shot in the face. It's
Right now, you're
great.
just describing Clone
Wars.
Wars, so I
Yeah,
mean,
well,
that aired on Cartoon Network
it did air on Cartoon Network,
somehow.
and Rebels had decapitations, and that aired on Disney XD.
Sure
I'm just
did.
saying. Um, so that is going to be next week, and then the day after, the 27th. Get ready because it's coming back. It is part one of our two-part RPG premiere. That's right, we are coming back for a brand new season. I'm going to be joined by Ellie, Kaylin, John, Joey, Greg, and Katrina. It is going to be epic. We are playing our Old Republic RPG, in which we may or may not be stealing a certain starship that a couple of people may have hooked up on. Who knows? Yeah, probably some executives from Disney is watching this, and he's like, "All right, we're crossing them off our list now."
Now we'll never get the Disney sponsorship.
Yeah, exactly.
The Raylo rats with all of the new teases this week. So
Yeah. So we do have that coming back next week. Join us for a wonderful night of action, adventure, comedy, and possibly romance. Who knows? But it will not be your normal RPG show, folks. And I'm telling you right now, it is definitely not safe for work because there are cuss words aplenty. Anyway, let's get into the news, shall we? So we so we took a break from the High Republic news last week to talk about. I'm not going to say Raylo hooked up on the Halcyon, but Raylo hooked up on the Halcyon. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you.
Jeez.
Yes.
Maggie.
Oh, it happened, and you know it.
explains so much.
Yes, it explains so much.
Does
I don't know
it?
if you can see
Every.
the book on the shelf behind me there, but I ship it.
Oh yeah, I know you do. Um, so we took a break from all of the regular news to talk about the Book of Boba Fett last week, and
And
now
our
we're
two and a
back.
half hour
Our
episode.
2.5 hour episode. Hey, the stuff with Sarah and Steven was a lot of fun. That
Oh
that
yeah, it
was
was
that was a
awesome.
lot of fun. Um,
Even if
and
I
I
didn't
want to
get to ask
thank
all
I
my
want to thank
questions.
Allie once again for joining us, John for joining us, Jane for joining us, Sarah and Steven for joining us, Luna for joining us.
That's
It
me.
was yeah, no. Um, yeah, we had a good time last week. So I know people are like, well, what's this High Republic news? So last week we were treated to a brand new episode of the High Republic show, and we finally see. Well, we're not in Christina Ariel's garage anymore. She actually has a set
So good.
at the Lucasfilm campus, and it just looks like a talk show set, just like a Star Wars themed talk show set.
But with like High Republic stuff. I
Yeah,
want to go
with
there
High
and I want
Republic
to
stuff. Yeah. Oh, I want to touch all the stuff
for
on
any
that stage.
federal officers listening to this podcast, this is a joke. Um I would like to
Easy.
go to that set and steal everything.
You
That was a
want the
joke.
lightsabers.
Please sponsor
I
us.
want the lightsabers too.
Oh yeah.
Um, in fact, I want that costume designer to design me Jedi robes now.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
And I got
I just
that
have to
Markion
say,
helmet.
Oh,
So
yeah.
good. I want
Christina
that. I
looks like
need
a
that.
legit goddess in those
Yeah.
robes. It was
Um,
so amazing.
I can't really hear you
Yeah, you're a little
too much,
quiet, Lav.
Lavender. Sorry.
I think you have the same
Technical
sort of headphones I
difficulties.
used to have.
What's up?
Talking to Lavender.
Oh,
Is that any better?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. I was trying to get rid of the static and I got rid of
No,
too much.
you're good. You're good.
No, I just wanted to say that Christina Ariel was like a goddess in the
Hmm.
Jedi robes. She looked
She better have a
amazing.
cameo.
And I know, right? Like she's got to be put in
Put her in the
something. She's got
put
to
her
go
in the
on screen.
background of the acolyte or something.
Yes.
Oh
I
No,
yeah,
don't
no.
care.
Give
She
give
needs to
give
be
that
there.
woman a speaking role. She is a
no,
legit
yeah.
actress.
You're right. You're right. No, you know what? Make her the one of the leads of one of the High
I
Republic shows.
I would love
Honestly,
to see that.
I think we all would love to see her.
her
So
energy is just so good. It wouldn't
yeah.
be the High Republic show without her. Honestly,
Oh yeah, she makes that show the way it is. And the great thing about great thing about this show, the High Republic show, don't worry, it ties into the news. Um, the great thing about the High Republic show is I'm glad that it's being done by a Star Wars fan
yes.
because like you can really tell like she cares about the story as much as we do. And I would, oh God, I would love to have her on the show sometime. I think it would be so amazing.
Be
I mean,
great.
we do follow each other on Twitter, so maybe I can reach out to her.
There's a chance.
There
There's
is
a
a chance.
chance.
She does subscribe to the channel too.
What?
I'm
It's not zero.
yeah.
Not zero chance.
But no, like
Christina, I know you're listening. Come on the show. If
she's
you're watching, and I know you are.
she's an amazing host. And just the amount of crap that she got when she was announced as the host for this show, like seeing the High Republic community like really rally around her and like just accept her was amazing. And
She just
she
tweeted like the other day about how much she loves the High Republic
yeah,
community. And we're the High Republic community. She
we
should
are.
she should come on the show.
Yeah, I
All the
yeah.
Republic.
We are all the Republic for Light and
We are
Life.
I've got
So the set had the Marky and Row helmet, the 3D printed Starlight beacon. Um, and I only do that because I have a feeling like John is watching. And like, even though he's not caught up on the High Republic, like I have a feeling he's watching and he's just like, haha, burn, burn. Um, anyway, and we got those Jedi robes, we got couple of the models of the lightsaber. We had some art in the background and everything, and like then there's like this round table, which we did get our first guest, who is a VP over at Lucasfilm, and they were talking about all the different stuff that's coming for the High Republic. He talked about Eclipse, but not mentioned Eclipse. Which we're not going to get into. We're not going to get into that tonight. Everybody knows our feelings on that game. Um, so we're not going to get into that. But he talked about a High Republic. He talked about multiple High Republic projects from different mediums in development, including TV, which we know the Acolyte is going to be set during the final days of the High Republic. But that means to tell me that they have other High Republic TV projects in the works, whether it be animated or live action here. So we're going to talk about that. We are going to be so yeah. Let's talk about this real quick. Do you believe that this one that he was talking about is the acolyte?
I
Or
think so.
yeah,
Yeah, just like the
probably.
context clues that he gave, it sounded like it. And I
yeah,
know that they've been doing casting recently, like Amanda Sternberg is cast in it, I think.
yes,
So
yeah,
that makes sense.
I really need this show to come out.
yeah,
Same.
I really need to see the High Republic stuff that isn't in a book.
yeah.
And I love the books
2025.
so
No,
much. But
it'll be sooner than that.
it better be.
I
Yeah,
hope.
fingers crossed. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm excited to see this because as much as I love these books and as much as I love these comics, I really want to see this story played out on the screen, whether it be an animated series or a live action series. It goes to show you that Star Wars can do both because of Clone Wars, Rebels, Bad Batch, Resistance, with being animated shows, and then you have The Mandalorian, you have the Book of Boba Fett, which, regardless of how you feel, they're both accomplishments. So what do we think the Acolyte is going to be? I mean, are we finally going to see the return of the Sith in the Acolyte? And how do we build on that from where we ended in the High Republic with Phase 1?
So we've known that the Sith have existed in the
Yes.
background for thousands of years, and the Jedi just didn't know about it. So that'll be kind of an interesting line to walk. Having that, because the acolyte, I assume, means Sith, because we got like the
Yeah.
lightsaber marks and the logo.
Kathleen
Yeah.
But
Kennedy did say it was a Sith
yeah,
follower. Yeah.
so what one has? Are they going to walk this line by like? Is it going to be everything's done in secret and they have to conceal themselves from the Republic, from the Jedi? Is this somebody who doesn't like who they decide doesn't count as a Sith?
Yeah.
Is this going to be some technicality there? Either way, I'm super interested. And since this is going to be set, you said in the latter days of the High
Yeah.
Republic, we've got all this stuff that's going to happen in between now
Hmm.
and then that could create so much more context. And I'm
Yeah.
just really excited to cast Christina.
Yeah. Lavender, your thoughts on this before we move to the other news topics because there is a lot of news.
Um, I'm thinking that it's probably got to tie what we know from High Republic and like kind of what they're building up to with all of the darkness and
Hmm.
Marquion Row and the leveler and everything. I feel like that's going to kind of streamline into what brings Palpatine into, like, it all just keeps coming back to Palpatine. Somehow he always has to return.
Somehow he returned.
Somehow, like, that story, they've got to like finish it, I guess. I don't know. I'm not too
This
excited to see him again, but I
Yeah.
feel like it's inevitable.
it's it feels like the show might be the bridge between the High Republic era and the prequels era
Yes,
almost,
Yeah.
exactly.
Um,
which I'm really excited to see.
I don't think we'll see Palpatine necessarily. I think we'll see Plagueis.
Yes, yeah, kind of
Oh,
like what like
Yeah.
leads into.
Yeah.
is he
Um,
still a moon, however you
yeah,
pronounce
yeah.
that?
They haven't changed the species
Okay,
at all. Um,
Okay, cool.
but I think that that would be really interesting because I still think he's the end game at the end of this story. I really think that he's the end game here. Like
Mhm.
you like Plagueis has to rise by the end of this entire story.
Yeah,
Ooh.
exactly.
Brain
It'd be
empty, only
interesting
mark.
if we saw like a background character who was like a moon or whatever,
Yeah.
who ended up
Um.
being or a Bith. I think Plagueis' master was a Bith.
Yeah.
Sith
Uh,
Bith.
Sith Bith. Bith
Sith
Sith.
Bith. Darth Tenebrous, I think.
Barth. Barf.
Or,
Darth. Uh. I can't speak tonight.
or
It's
should
been
I
a long
call
day.
you Barf Sidious?
Get out. Um. So let's move on now because we actually have we mentioned the costume that Christina Ariel wears, and that was done by Star Wars fan costumer Caitlin Jacques, who's done like a lot of 501st stuff. She's done some Jedi stuff, Imperial stuff.
So good.
Gorgeous costuming,
Just
absolutely
perfection.
gorgeous costuming. She actually got like a lot of the concept art too like sent to her so that way she could actually like create the Jedi robes. I know
And has
Lavender, you're
she
really
seen
jealous.
Elzar? Has she seen Elzar Man's concept art yet? Because
We're
Because
getting
we
we're
haven't.
getting to that point. We're getting to the big reveal here soon.
yeah,
Which we may get the Elzar Man concept art. We might. We, we might. Who knows?
Here's
Um,
hoping.
but I don't think that we should really touch on this because we touched on it at the top of the show. Christina Ariel looked great. Those robes look amazing. All of us are now starting to call her Master Ariel because
Hell yeah.
why not?
Why not?
Yeah. So let's move on here. Then we got some news on some upcoming releases. I really feel like this. You know what? We're just gonna announce it. There's gonna be an Art of High Republic book here, people. And
I'm
oh my
so
god,
excited.
like all three of us and like my wife and I were watching the show like after I got home from work, and all three. I mean, my wife and I were like, "Yes, let's go, yes!" And my
Me
wife
too.
doesn't even read the High Republic. but she's like, I want this art. Like I want this art. Like like in my hand. It is being written by This Week in Star Wars is Kristen Baver, and it's
Yeah.
actually set to release on September 27th.
Ooh, that's even earlier than I thought.
Yes, and
Oh, it
it
was gonna be in
Before
is
October.
phase two.
yes, right before Phase 2, and it is $50, but I will let you know right now that is going to be $50 very well
Oh
spent.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
take my money. I think I left my
Yeah.
wallet in my car, but if it was here, I'd do a bit.
Yeah. But like the big thing to me is, and back me up on this is going to be a great resource for cosplayers.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
so excited to see the cosplays that come out of this book.
Exactly. I mean, and they showed like the Marky and Rowe concept art. They showed the Wreath Silas art. The Wreath Silas art was
Ah,
gorgeous.
there's
Love
so many
him.
of my boy.
Yes. And then they had the
That's my
Comac.
boy right
I
there.
know Wreath's your boy. And then they had the Comac Vetus art, which was gorgeous too. I mean, just I can't get enough of this. I'm gonna get Lavender's thoughts, and then we'll get to Luna's here. Lavender, hit me. Your thoughts?
No thoughts, head empty. I'm just counting down the days until Elzar Man concept art.
Yes.
Because that's what they've been keeping from us.
Oh
Like they're
yeah.
like
They've
they're like,
been
we have
keeping
to
it
sell
for
this book.
months.
We have to make sure that people buy this book. So let's leave out the concept art for Elzar so that they all plop down that $50 and buy it. That said, I absolutely adore Kristen Baber. Her
Hmm.
Skywalker Family at War book is amazing. I know this will be a totally different style because it's
Yeah.
it's a art of book. But I think that she's really going to do it justice. And I was already like in awe of the concept art and like the
Yeah.
styling of the High Republic, like when they first announced it. So I'm gonna like get this book and sit there and drool and
Oh yeah.
then draw up concepts for my own cosplays that
Hmm.
I'll maybe eventually make.
Yeah. Luna, your thoughts, and then
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
finish up with a couple more.
so excited for this. G- the concept art is what sort of made me want to read it in the first place.
Yeah.
As I saw this concept art, I'm like, wow, this looks really cool. I really loved. I don't remember whose it was originally that
Mm.
made me want to read it, but I saw somebody's concept art specifically. I think it might have been Bell or something.
Yeah, he
No,
was one of the first concept
yeah,
arts released. Yeah.
it was Bell or it was Keeve or it was somebody. But
Skiers was one of the first released too.
here it might have been Scare actually. I don't
Yeah.
know. It was somebody. I was looking at the concept art and I loved it. And even now, I'm like trying to indoctrinate my friends into the High
Yeah.
Republic by sending them all this really cool concept art.
Hmm.
Like I'm in a group of like I've in Star Wars D&D games and stuff,
Yeah.
and I've made our DM get into it, and
Hmm.
she's on Into the Dark, or she just finished Into the Dark
Nice.
and is now reading Test of Courage. Shout out to Callie, Selena, Katie, June. But they I'm so excited. I can't even
Yeah.
articulate how excited I am. Even beyond just seeing this really cool art, some of the great cosplay that'll come out of it. Like we
Yeah.
have Maggie in the chat who's a
Hmm.
wonderful cosplayer.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what like she does with that, what other people who love cosplay and love the High
Hmm.
Republic do with this. I just want to be able to visualize these people better. I hope we get more geode art. I
Yes,
want to
more
see some geode
geode.
concept art beyond
He's a
what we got.
hero.
He's
He is a
he's a
hero.
hero.
Mhm.
He's
He
the
is
hero.
a hero. One of so like as soon as like I said, when we were watching the thing and like they announced the book, my wife just started googling like High Republic concept art and like automatically saw Avar Chris, and she was just like, I really want to cosplay as her, and I was like, you should.
Do it.
Yeah, I was like, go for it. Like, I'll cosplay as Elzar Man because they're a couple. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You know, but like this book just excites me because we've never had an art book for book characters before.
Yeah.
And like this is crazy. The amount of concept art they did for this project. They brought in film concept artists to design these characters.
I'm just so glad they're still going all in on this. Like,
Oh,
some of the bad part of the fandom has had some backlash, and we still have the High Republic show getting dislike bombed every week.
oh yeah,
But
it's gonna happen.
it's gonna happen,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that hasn't shaken them at all. Like, it seems like they don't care,
They
and they're gonna keep
don't.
pushing, and that's so awesome to me. Like,
Yeah,
I remember I saw specifically this last High Republic show had a positive like dislike ratio, and I'm like, okay, that's progress.
yeah.
I
I
just want to throw in real quick about
yeah.
like the art stuff with the expanded universe. I think maybe this was because of like the RPGs and everything that were in existence at the time. But like, I know like the NJO characters, a lot of them had
Mhm.
concept art,
Yeah,
um, which was really cool. And I remember like as I was reading through these books as a teen, like scouring the internet for like any little crumbs of
yeah.
like what does this character look like,
Hmm.
I'm gonna
or like, well, I
whole
know what their
book.
species is, so like I can imagine them. But like for them to actually be putting it out there for us for these characters and these ships is like
Yeah.
dream come true.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
Because I'm
and
gonna have it bookmarked to the vector page like all the
Oh
time.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm. Some of you might know that I like the High Republic art just a little bit, as you
No.
can see by my devices here
Oh,
covered
it's
in
the
stickers.
stickers.
Yeah,
Stickers.
I've got a bunch of them in my car too on my dashboard. And I've
Nice.
got I've got a little vector sticker on my steering wheel.
Do you call your car the Vector though, Luna?
Uh no, but only because it has a different name. But
Okay,
I should call my car the Vector.
you should call
you
your car the
should.
Vector.
Yeah.
I love vectors so much.
They are really cool.
I can't wait to see some of their concept art.
Yeah. So uh I want to just touch on this briefly before we move on to our next announcement that was there. I have a lot of FOMO right now, and Lavender, I'm pretty sure you definitely have FOMO because you are literally around the corner.
Yep.
And Maggie definitely has FOMO because she was telling me that Kevin Scott passed her like 5 times at Epcot the other day.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, so the Luminous Five, that's what we're gonna call them. There's more Project
such a good
Luminous
name.
authors now.
These
Um,
are the original five.
Yeah,
yes,
So
these are
when it
the
was Project
Luminous
Luminous.
Five. Um, they are at their writing summit now at Walt Disney World. Stupid spam.
To be a fly on that wall.
Oh, I know. I know.
to
And
get
like,
good chocolate brought over by Kevin.
yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, like to be a fly on the wall of that room, just to like hear what they're coming up with for phases 2 and 3. And I guarantee you they're gonna go with phases 4 and 5 too.
Oh, really?
I
Awesome.
have a feeling this is gonna be a longer project than 3 phases.
It's been I've the fan response has been like, for people who have actually read it,
Yeah.
overwhelmingly
Oh
positive.
yeah.
Positive.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Um, not saying that we don't have our likes and dislikes from these books, and we're gonna get into that here in a little bit. But yeah, just to be a fly on the wall of that meeting room, and like one of my favorite tweets was from Justina Ireland, and she's talking about riding the Haunted Mansion with Cavan Scott in the Doom buggy, and
Oh
he
my
keeps
god.
singing Grim Grinning Ghosts throughout the ride. And then I saw Cavan Scott rode Small World today, and I was like, "Oh,
The
just
spirit of unity.
yeah,
They just
yeah." And I told my wife that I was just like, I was just like, "That's right. Kevin Scott wrote a song that was based on Small World."
that's
Yep.
so funny.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Oh,
and Luna,
they're such cool people. They're such cool
When
people.
you join us next year for our big meetup,
Oh,
you
when?
have to ride Small World.
Okay,
I'm
I'll
just
keep it in
saying,
mind.
Yep.
I hate that ride with a passion.
I
I
love it once a year. Once a year is my cap.
I got stuck on that ride.
Oh,
That's fair
oh
then.
no.
Yeah. I have PTSD, like I shake back and forth in the fetal position.
I
It,
got stuck on Figment at the song.
ooh, like at the end.
Yeah. It just
Ooh.
imagination for
Yeah.
an hour and a half.
Oh, one
Yeah,
little spark. No.
it was
Um.
bad. I didn't write it for like 2
Yeah.
years
People watching this are like, why are we talking about Disney? Because we can, people.
because the Republic Fair is basically just Space Epcot.
It. It. Thank you. It's
Good
Future
point.
World
It's
meets
Future
World
World.
Showcase.
Yep.
Picture the Starlight Pavilion being the American Adventure.
Oh, we should have known. We should have known that something was going to happen after the
So did Kevin
pavilions.
Scott just want to blow up Epcot?
I
A
mean, he
lot.
looked like he was
It's
having a very good time, so
therapeutic for
maybe
him,
He
he's
looked
maybe.
gotten
like he was
over.
having a very good time. So I don't
Yes.
think Kevin Scott has anything against Epcot.
Yeah, maybe it's. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe he's
Fred,
got some sort of. Oh
Fred
my
in
god!
chat says I'm way behind on the High Republic, but I love the positivity and enthusiasm you all have about the series. Makes me want to hurry and catch up. Do it.
Dude,
We're
He's
this
on
is
waiting
such a
for
Rising
you.
good time to
Storm.
catch up.
He's on
He's
This
Rising
is the
Storm.
best
he's on
time to
Rising
catch up.
Storm right now.
Yes.
We
He
actually
said
were
he said the fair is absolutely Epcot.
yeah, we were listening to it last or the night before last, and we got up to like the point where Orbelin's talking about like all the Jedi archive stuff.
Oh, I love
Oh, that's
Orbelin.
such a great scene.
I
Yes.
love Orbelin.
I'm not
The
gonna ruin
best.
it for you, Fred. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna ruin it for you. But yeah, Kevin Scott loves Epcot because he was actually at the Canadian Pavilion last night watching a show. So anyway, Luminous 5. I
So
want to
jelly.
meet you guys so much.
Me too. Oh, anything. I would do anything to get one of
That's
them
why
on
I
the
wanted
show.
to win that contest. I wanted to win that contest so bad because
Whoever
you,
the person
huh?
was that won, congratulations. I hope they're having the time of their life.
Yeah, because honestly,
But if I see you, it's on site.
Lavender, I would have taken you.
Like seriously an hour away.
I know. And yeah, they got to see Star Cruiser. I'm pretty sure they had to sign NDAs for that.
Yeah.
So
Still.
There's only a few more days left until it's
yeah,
what's
yeah.
March 1st.
Yeah, March 1st is the
Yeah.
first voyage, so we have about a week or so left. Yeah.
Are they gonna go on a 3-hour tour?
Yeah. For $4,800.
Yeah, I don't exactly have a down payment to shell out.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, when Sarah was talking about that, I was like, "Oh, great." Anyway, let's move on here with the notes or the news here. Next up, we have our first book reveals for Phase 2. Our first reveal here is Tessa Gratton and Justina Ireland will be teaming up to write the next young adult High Republic novel called Path of Deceit. Then
Sounds so
George,
cool. That's
yes,
such a Star Wars title.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Path of Deceits.
George Mann, who's done a couple of the children's High Republic books,
I love
as
George
well
Man.
as his Doctor Who stuff is absolutely incredible. If you've never read George Mann's Doctor Who stuff, you should because it's amazing. He is going to be writing the middle grade novel called Quest for the Hidden City, and then forgive me if I butcher this name. I apologize in advance. Zoraida Cordova will be
Sounds
writing.
all right.
Yep,
Master Cordova.
Master Cordova will be writing the first adult novel with the High Republic Convergence.
That's such a cool name too.
Yes.
These are all such cool titles.
Well, we're going to talk about these here as we after I get done these announcements here. Claudia Gray will be joining Dark Horse Comics to write the upcoming comic series Quest of the Jedi, which keep in mind Phase 2 is officially called Quest of the Jedi. So there is that. Daniel Jose
Eponymous.
Alder, our good our good old buddy Daniel Jose Alder is writing an original graphic novel for Dark Horse. Charles Soule is writing a Marvel comic centered around our favorite High Republic chef, Porter Engel.
I love Porter Engel.
Need the
And
So
recipe for
cool.
the 9-egg stew.
yes, we do.
Where's the recipe? I need a High Republic recipe book
It's
right now.
coming. It's
I need
coming.
Joppa stew. I need 9-egg stew.
I
I need
wouldn't be surprised if
everything.
Lucasfilm's given us an art book, they're gonna give us a cookbook.
They better.
And Kevin Scott is once again writing the main High Republic comic for Marvel, which will hit shelves in October. So let's talk about these. So Path of Deceit, we know nothing of.
Other than
We
it's a very Star Wars named book.
yes. Could this be, even though we know that phase two here, a good chunk of phase two is going to be set 150 years in the past before the Great Disaster, could Path of Deceit still deal with Vernestra and Imri in the modern day?
It could. I hope we get more Vernestra and Imri because I
Yeah,
love them.
Well, yeah,
But
obviously.
I don't think we know enough yet.
yeah. Um, because to me that just seems like it would be their type of book.
Yeah, like different time periods kind of overlapping.
Yeah,
Kind of like Into the Dark, where they had the sections where it was Comac and Orla,
yeah,
like
Yeah,
25 years previously, like stuff that led up
it's
to
going to be
that.
Irem
yeah.
Crisis.
Hmm.
Yeah, and Midnight Horizon has the same thing with
Yes.
Cantum Psi. Um, and we'll
Some of
get
my
into
favorite
that
parts
in
of
a
the
little
book.
bit.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
Midnight Horizon, my
yeah.
beloved.
Um, but I mean, to me, like, I'm not gonna tell Tessa Gratton and Justine Ireland how to write their damn book,
Yeah.
but um, like to me, it just feels like it would be like kind of like the cap of Vernestra and Imri's story for now. Give them like one more book in phase two set in the modern day before we really go back into the path with this one or past with this one. Now we have George Mann's The Quest for the Hidden City. So I have a feeling this one's really going to be about the age of exploration.
Yes.
Hmm. Yeah.
And this one could have like an Indiana Jones feel to it. So
That would be
The
so
title is giving
cool.
me those vibes. Yeah.
yeah. What if this is dealing with the Santeca clan?
Ooh.
I would not be surprised at all. I
I
think we're
just
going
want
to
to
see
say
a lot more hyperspace prospecting
Yeah.
the
in
whole
this time frame.
hyperspace prospecting era is so interesting to me.
I
And
know,
I
I'm
think the
really
way
excited.
that they've laid the seeds for it throughout phase
Oh
one
yeah.
was so good. I think they did a really good job with that.
Yeah. Lavender, what were you going to say?
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Uh, yeah, just the prospecting. I think we're definitely going to see a lot more of that. And I'm very excited for it because that's
Yeah.
like kind of something in Star Wars that it's always like, okay, they travel through hyperspace, just trust it.
Yeah.
And now it's like, but how? I want to know the how, the why.
Yeah.
Where how did they get there?
Yeah,
The
exactly.
How
the
did they
first thing
become
that
a spacefaring civilization?
Yeah.
the first thing that I thought when I heard about like when I thought of this era of like exploring the galaxy, prospecting these hyperspace routes, discovering new planets and species and systems is that this sounds like a really cool campaign setting for an RPG.
Yeah,
Yes, it does.
it does.
I, I think they would be so remiss if they don't come out with an RPG set in the High Republic.
Oh,
Please.
we're gonna get one. I
Yes,
really have a
absolutely.
feeling like they're talking to Fantasy Flight about doing a an RPG set in the High Republic.
Please. I'm like playing an RPG set in the High Republic now, but it's like janky and fan made. And it's really fun
Who
though.
cares? You're
I
Oh,
know
having
so not get
fun.
exactly.
bad.
I'm having
Yeah.
so much fun. It's such a good era for
Yeah.
RPGs.
And like this Age of Exploration, like they tease it a lot. Cavan teases it a lot in the Rising Storm.
Hmm.
And even Claudia teases it a little bit in Fallen Star. And Charles teases it a lot in Light of the Jedi. And we get a little bit of it in Race to Crash Point, I think, and in
At the end of
Test of
Midnight Horizon, they
yeah,
teased
we
it a
get a
little bit.
little bit of it too. But like this is something I've been wanting to see. Like I want to see the Republic expand. Like, and I want to see more like one of my favorite thing thank you, Katie. One of my favorite things about this era, especially like, is like characters like Reeth and Comac that are like these archivists and everything. Like, give me more Jedi historians and archivists like exploring. Like, I want
Yes.
Jedi explorers now.
They
I
have a place
remember
in my heart,
Oh
obviously.
yeah. No,
I remember
same
that
here.
Comac's like a folklorist or something, and
Yeah,
I
he
thought that was
Yes,
the
yeah, he's a
like,
coolest thing in
folklorist.
the
that's the
world.
coolest job title, Jedi
That's so cool.
folklorist.
A
And
Jedi folklorist.
and Reith asks him, he's like, "So is your job dangerous?" And Comac's like, "Well, sometimes I might
Can
try to
be.
get eaten. It
Yeah.
just
I have to
depends."
ask people what their stories are, and
Yeah,
they might not like it when I ask them.
That sounds like
exactly.
such a cool. I want like a. It would be really cool if they came out with like a journal of Comac Vitus thing.
Oh, that would be
Oh,
amazing. I would
That'd be
read that
so
book in a
cool.
heartbeat.
Me too. Just like a
Oh,
journal of him collecting folklore from all these different.
uh,
It's such.
yeah. I don't need the Ira Monero stuff. I just want him as a
Yeah.
folklorist.
Yeah.
Like,
I just want to throw in one more of the
Yeah.
Jedi archivist. Actually, I think she's officially a Jedi librarian.
hmm.
Lissa, I forget her last name. Obviously, her first name
Oh,
is
from
based on the publicist.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, she's in Mission to Disaster.
Mission to Disaster, and
Yeah.
she's on
Oh
the
yeah.
She's at the
Dalna.
temple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's on
Yes,
the
the Dalna
temple at
Temple.
on Dalna. Yeah,
Yeah,
Dalna.
Hmm.
Dalna. Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is a
I was
which I'm
like,
sure is going to be a
Yeah.
huge location in phase two.
Yes, they
highly relatable
That has
character.
been so.
yes,
That's
they
been like the
modeled her
most
after
heavily foreshadowed planet.
yeah. They modeled
Mhm.
her after Lissa D, which I think is amazing because if it weren't for her and Michael Siglain, we wouldn't really have the High Republic right now.
No, I
So
don't think we
good.
would.
Um, but yeah, that's really cool. And then we have Convergence,
What a name.
which we have no clue.
Convergence in the Force. Now we have
Yeah.
Convergence. I feel
Yeah,
like it's all connected.
Yeah, there was a
yeah,
they talked about convergences
yeah, they do.
in
Yeah,
in Into the Dark, I think. They talked about how the Jedi Temple is on a convergence in the Force that the Sith used to hold.
Yeah, yeah,
because the Jedi Temple's on the
Which was
old Sith
so
Temple.
cool to
yeah.
me. Like just hey, the Jedi Temple's
It's
on
so
an old
cool.
Sith temple. I'm like, hell yeah, are you kidding me?
And that's something that I want them to explore even further, like in
Yes.
phase two. Um, like you could also, with this book, with this convergence book, you can talk about how the statues got to the Amaxine station with the Drengir too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, which I
Because, yeah,
think
they
would
never
be
officially
interesting.
put a time point on
Nope.
when that happened.
No,
So,
no, they don't. Um, could this also be like when they talk about the convergence? Could this also be the convergence of the Jedi into the galaxy as a whole?
Ooh.
Like,
That's a
could we go further back in that book?
because
So,
if I'm not mistaken, the High Republic right now is the furthest back canon time
canon
period we've
wise,
got.
yes, this is the
Yeah.
furthest
yes.
back that we've gone.
Because like
And
obviously there's the Old Republic and stuff, but that's not canon anymore
yeah,
for now.
this is roughly 200 years before the prequels,
Which would make
roughly
Phase Two.
232 years before the originals.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And then 250 before sequel trilogy-ish.
Which and then
yeah.
another 150 years before that for Quest of the Jedi.
So you're looking at this is probably 350 years with Quest of the Jedi. It's going to be 350 years before the Skywalker saga starts. It'll be about 325, give or take,
Sounds about right.
before. No, no, it'll be about 375 before the original trilogy, and roughly 400 before the sequel trilogy. If you're
Nice.
looking at the time periods.
Yeah.
Right.
Um, but I love that they're going the prequel route with this.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome.
Me too.
And I think it follows that storytelling
Yeah.
from Lucasfilm as well, because like obviously we got the original trilogy, then we got the prequel, then it's like go to the future. But
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we don't skip over and go to the future with
Yeah.
phase three. I hope we get back into like where
Yeah.
we left off. Let's get rid of the leveler.
Because let's face it, we left off with quite a big cliffhanger between
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it was epic.
between Fallen Star and Midnight
So many
Horizon.
cliffhangers, in fact.
But I mean, I think that's really cool. And then Claudia Gray is going to be writing Quest of the Jedi. So could this be another monthly ongoing, similar to what High Republic Adventures was to Cavan's High Republic series.
Sort of what
That's
I
what I'm thinking it's
assumed.
gonna be because
Yeah,
IDW is out of the picture.
yeah,
So Dark Horse is the replacement for that. So if Claudia's writing the Dark Horse series, I think it's basically the next High Republic Adventures.
yeah,
Like, the middle grades are all ages. And I mean she writes really well for teens and younger too. So I think it'll be pretty, all encompassing.
yeah.
I just
Uh,
want to say too, real quick about
yeah,
Convergences.
yeah.
Zoretta Cordova, who's the
Mhm.
author of that book. Um, First of all, I love her screen name, Z like in Zorro.
Yes,
It's the best. But also she is the author of um, Crash of Fate, which is
yes.
the Galaxy's Edge tie-in
I
YA
didn't know
novel.
that.
It's
Um,
very good.
it's very good. It doesn't cover like any of our like main characters,
Hmm.
so you kind of already have seen what she does with like her own um, characters in this universe, which is really cool.
Yeah,
So I'm hoping it's something similar to, well, so it's going to be a little bit more major than
yeah,
that book, but that's an amazing book. I highly
I've
recommend it.
I've scrolled through Miss Cordova's Twitter and I already love her.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
No,
just
she's
great.
great. She's great. And Luna, check out Crash of Fate. It's great.
I'll put
It's
it
a
on the
lot of fun.
list.
Yeah, it's another great guide to Black Spire Outpost without going to Black Spire Outpost.
I'll have to read that
Hmm.
before next year.
Yeah, yeah,
I
you'll
read
need
it
to
right
read that and
before
Black
we
Spire
went.
Outpost.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
Yeah.
put them on the list.
yes. Black Spire
Got a bunch.
Outpost is great because that's Vi Marati's book and she's just
I'm
amazing in
I'm
that.
running out of Audible credits.
Well, then choppy
How about your
choppy, let's
library
go.
card?
Yeah, yeah, get a library card. Come on,
Get a
let's go. You
library
can
card.
get
Get a
audiobooks that
drive.
way.
That's
Yeah.
fair enough. Because I had like 15, and then I got all of the High Republic books, and I got a bunch of other Star Wars books. I got Ronin, I got
Ronin
Master
was
and Apprentice,
fantastic.
I got
Yeah.
Master and Apprentice, I got Dooku Jedi Lost, I got Ahsoka, and now I've got like 2 left.
Yeah. I would definitely do both of those honestly
Okay.
because they're both really really good reads. Black Spire Outpost plays like a movie
Ooh.
in the audiobook. Like it's really really that good. And you don't need to have read Phasma in order to understand what's going on either.
Okay.
No, not at
Phasma's
all.
another one I have to
Yeah.
read.
Because like they talk about the events of what happens in Phasma because
Yeah,
it's
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 like
a
they
sequel
do
to
a
it.
quick catch you up. Like, if you didn't read that one, that's okay. Here's what happened with Cardinal and Vi, and
Yeah.
here we
Hey,
go.
if
We're
this
on
is
that
the
too.
research I have to do, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
A lot
Um
worse things to have to read.
also
Phasma's
Traveler's
great too,
Guide.
though.
Yeah, also Traveler's Guide to Batu. You need that book too.
Hmm.
Yes.
Written by Douglas Adams.
No, it could be. So let's move on here. We've got Daniel Jose Alder writing a graphic novel for Dark Horse. Could this be the sequel to High Republic Adventures?
I don't
No,
know,
not set
but Daniel's
150 in the
writing it, so I'm
past.
excited.
When they say graphic novel, I'm inclined to think that it's going to be a standalone.
Yeah.
Um, More like, well, I mean, can't really
Like
say Edge of Balance because that's a manga.
Do
But
you
yeah,
do
like,
you
it's
think it would
same
be
sort of format though,
more?
where there's only one or two.
Do you think it'll be more that miniseries that Cavan did with Ty Yorick?
yeah, like a self-contained
Monster
story.
of
Because
Temple
like if
Peak,
you put
Yeah.
Monster Peak together, it's like 4 issues
Yeah.
that is
4
essentially
issues.
one graphic novel. So
Yeah. And he
I think it'll be
originally
something like that.
Yeah, and Cavan originally pitched that as a graphic novel, and then
Right.
IDW split it into 4 issues.
Yeah, I was kind
I'd
of
So,
I'd
surprised
love to
about
see
that.
like a
yeah.
larger sort of. I've got V for Vendetta right here, which is
Yeah.
a pretty long graphic
Oh,
novel.
yeah. But
Yeah, it
I
is.
have a feeling Daniel could write this graphic novel in Dark Horse. Dark Horse is a little bit better about not splitting it up into mini issues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like they're really good about just like taking graphic novels and like making them just graphic novels.
Hmm.
um,
Um,
nothing that Daniel has put out in the High Republic so far has disappointed me at
yep.
all. So I'm so excited for more of his work.
What is it next week is the last High Republic Adventures?
Yes, number 13.
I think it's in like 4 days. is High
I'm
Republic
not
Adventures
ready.
13.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
want
not
to
ready
say
it'll be
either.
goodbye to
Wednesday.
them.
No,
Ugh,
especially after Midnight Horizon, like
yeah.
I
Ugh.
I don't wanna. I'm not ready to say goodbye to this crew. Like
I'm not ready to say
seriously.
goodbye to this crew until like 2024.
Yeah. But yeah, and then we have Charles writing the Porter Engel comic. We don't know if this is going to be a one shot or a miniseries yet. In my opinion, I'd be okay with it just being a one shot, honestly.
Mm,
Because 32 pages about Porter Engel, I think would be just fine, in
yeah.
my opinion.
I think it's
Um,
going to be whatever leads to like the event of him becoming the Blade of Bardata.
yeah,
And like that could just be one mission or one like battle essentially.
yeah,
I'm I'm just so curious about his backstory.
yeah.
It's
Now,
so cool.
if he wants to give it to us like the way he's been doing Eye of the Storm, where like one issue is about Porter like joining the order and like going through the ranks, and then like the second issue is how he becomes the Blade of
When
Bardata.
when
Yeah.
Okay,
when
yeah.
does Eye of the Storm 2 come out?
End of Mar or no, beginning of March. Beginning of
Yeah.
Not too
March.
long.
Yeah,
Not too
I think
long. I
it's
can do
the
this. I can do
second.
this. Oh, really? That's a
Yeah,
lot
I
sooner than I
think
thought.
it's the second. Yeah,
I can do this.
because Charles says like you need to read Midnight and Fallen before you read Eye of the Storm #2. I mean, you don't have to,
But
We
you should.
should.
but you should, especially for Maggie's
You
Marky Roo and
I
his
was just
plan.
about to say, Eye of the Storm #2 with Maggie's favorite comic cover of all time.
Oh yeah.
Is that the leash one?
That's the
Or
The
leash one.
leash
yeah,
one. Woof.
yeah.
That's up
They
there for me
knew
too.
what they were
I
doing.
mean, I'm still a fan of Marky and Row romance cover, wind blowing through the
Right? It's like a
through the
freaking bodice
hair.
ripper cover
Yeah,
So
yeah.
good.
Like
turned into Fabio.
I'm just like, wow, Markian's cleaned up. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And I loved his concept art with like the half cape. It was so
The
cool.
You know,
half
like all these
cape's funny.
different cape looks and like, yeah, it was pretty great.
No capes.
Nope,
Uh,
I
he's
I
a good
want
guy.
every single
he is the
character to have
cape
a
guy.
cape. I'm the opposite of Edna from
Maggie
Incredibles.
says, I'm
I
gonna go
love
feral.
capes.
Maggie's gonna go feral.
We mentioned Marky
Maggie,
Roo and
that's for
just
our after hours
summon
show
her.
next week. Um, Maggie's gonna go feral. Oh my god.
We just summoned
I
her by
mean,
talking about
she
Markion.
did after buckets in 5. So
The buckets of bloodthirst trap.
yeah, jeez. I'm not.
The
You know
most
what?
unnecessary thing ever.
What
He
what
could
did
Thank
have just
you.
been like, here's a
Thank
piece of
Daniel
my
you.
just did a
rose.
Daniel just did a Twitter thread where he called buckets of blood something really funny.
Buckets
Let
of
me find it.
buckets of booty cakes or something.
Yeah, it was
It was
buckets of
something like
booty
that.
cakes. Yes.
Yeah, but like he made it a hashtag, which
Yeah.
is the funniest
Hashtag
thing.
buckets of booty cakes.
Let me see. Hold on, I've got it.
Buckets is
Yeah, buckets
Daniel
of
just
booty butt
said.
cheeks.
Daniel just said buckets is the bimbo.
Buckets of bimbo.
Buckets is the bimbo.
Hashtag buckets of booty butt cheeks.
Buckets.
That's a
Booty
quote from Daniel
cheeks.
Jose Older 9 hours
Yeah,
ago.
after Eye of the Storm #1 went, I went and bought $180 worth of Eye of the Storm comics from Charles Soule.
She did. She
Maggie,
did.
I love this
So
for you though, okay?
So
we haven't even gotten to our main topic here, people.
no, we haven't. It's been
No.
an hour. It's been an
Yeah.
hour of us just talking about how much we love the High Republic.
Yeah. Real quick, and the last thing, Kevin Scott is writing the main High Republic comic for Marvel, which will hit shelves in October. This will probably be another 12 to 15 issue
Yeah.
series.
And like obviously,
Probably
hell
expanding
yeah.
about a year. Which I'm okay with. I just wish like they had just kept the numbering going. Like you could put it on hiatus and like just like release a brand new #1 as number 16.
Right? Yeah. I think that like because with the original like the Star Wars like main title, they did their like,
Yeah.
one through whatever, and then they've restarted it with like Star Wars 2020 basically.
Yeah.
So that's consistency across the like that publishing platform, but I see what you mean. It would be nicer if it just kept
Yeah.
going up.
Because honestly, as a comic book collector, I would rather just collect it as it's just going up in issues. Just be like,
Mm.
oh, that's High Republic number 30, you know, like,
I need to get one of those like spinning comic book rack things.
yeah, that's
You
just
know what I'm
all
talking
High
about?
Republic comics.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it's gonna be.
The digital thing for these, because I read on my iPad,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I love to be able to like have a giant screen with a giant like panel on it. So I
Yeah.
miss no details.
I mean, here's the thing. I've read every single High Republic thing digitally. I've done all the audiobooks and
Yeah.
I've done everything on like
Mhm.
my Kindle, but I still am buying all of them hardcover
Oh,
because
yeah.
I want them on my shelf.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yes.
I'm the same way, especially about this story. Like
Yeah.
I I'm kind of a completionist for this,
Yeah.
Hmm.
where even if I miss an issue, I know it's going into a second printing, so I can just go to my local comic store and pick up the second printing when it
Yeah.
comes out.
Right now my thing with the comics is that I'm waiting for them to come out in all those volumes and I'll just buy the volumes.
Yeah, the
Just
first two
First
for
two are out
Yeah, the
right
Caverns are
first
now.
two
out.
High Republics are out and the first High Republic Adventures is out.
Yeah, I think volume 2 of Daniel's run comes out really soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then Edge of Balance 2
Edge
is
of
coming
Balance
out.
1 is also out. I've got it right
yeah,
here. I know
Edge
because I
of
have them. This is all that's out.
yeah, Edge of Balance 2 digitally is this week.
Right. And
And
then the
then
paperbacks later on.
yeah, the paperback's in May. And honestly, I'm just gonna wait until May to get the paperback, honestly. I don't want to spoil myself with the digital copy yet. I have the Storm I'll buy the digital copy for because I'm just like, it's okay, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a
Don't
very
let
good
Maggie hear you
comic.
say that.
Yes.
No, I mean, she knows how much I love that comic.
I think Maggie bought all the physical copies already, so I don't know if there's any left for us.
Oh,
Like
so yeah,
every
that's why
last
my
one.
comic book store was sold out because Maggie flew up
Because
to
Maggie got
Maryland
to them first.
and went to my comic book store and just bought everything.
She went to every comic book
Yeah,
store.
no wonder I couldn't get Trail of Shadows number 3. Thanks, Maggie.
She's gonna be the
Freaking
comic book
Maggie.
reseller, like
Yeah.
the Figment buckets.
Oh God,
She's gonna
don't
have
get me started on those damn buckets. Those
buckets of comics.
bucket. That's Maggie's new nickname, Buckets of Comics. Buckets of Comics.
On the scene.
I
The
love
great,
Buckets of
the
Blood.
great comic sell-off.
I'm gonna be so upset if Buckets of Blood dies.
Oh, thank you, Luna. Now Buckets of Blood is gonna die.
Yeah.
No.
He called it.
I can't. This can't keep happening to me.
Maggie just confirmed. Yeah, I've been to every comic book store in the country. Thank you,
He
Maggie.
hasn't gotten to Europe yet. We gotta go.
My closet is full of comics. It's overflowing. It's full of comics
I
and
believe it.
Figment buckets. That's it.
I believe it.
Yeah.
We haven't even
And
gotten into
a
our main
tech
topic
helmet.
yet.
And a tech helmet.
Yeah.
Can't
The
forget
tech
her.
helmet is so good.
Yeah. God, I'm really tempted to get the Wrecker helmet from that website.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
It is.
Somebody
Anyway.
needs to do a Wrecker Fix It or a Wrecker and Wreck-It Ralph crossover thing
Oh my
needs to
God.
happen.
I need to cosplay as Wrecker Ralph.
Wrecker Ralph.
Wrecker
Yep.
Ralph.
Wrecker Ralph.
Overalls and the helmet.
Wrecker
Yes,
breaks the
it's
internet.
the overalls and the helmet. And
Yep.
and I just run around saying, "Let's blow something up."
So good.
Remember, he wants to blow something up because he wants to blow something up. He wasn't programmed to do it. He just likes to blow
Yeah.
stuff up.
Lest we forget.
Anyway, stay tuned for our Bad Batch podcast. I need Markians to match tech. You do not need a Markian row helmet.
You don't need it.
We're gonna have an intervention later, Maggie. Anyway, let's move on to our main topics here.
Finally. It's been
Yeah.
half the podcast and we're getting into our main topic now.
You know what, Luna? No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm not.
So this is
You
going to
misunderstood.
be a spoiler review of two books that have come out recently. One of them is Claudia Gray's The Fallen Star. The other one is Daniel Jose Alder's Midnight Horizon. We're not going to talk about Mission to Disaster yet because I want people to actually get their hands on the physical copies
Yeah.
before we talk about that book. I will say this: Mission to Disaster is a great book. If you have not read it, do so. It's a lot of fun, and it's Justina Ireland just having fun in Star Wars.
I love it. I recommend actually reading Mission to
That's all.
Disaster before you read The Fallen Star,
Well,
because
yeah,
it kind of takes place right before, and it adds
yeah.
some context.
Um, and I will say this: Midnight Horizon and The Fallen Star actually take place at the same time.
Mhm.
So what's going on Starlight is also happening during Midnight Horizon. So just keep that in mind here. But let's talk about The Fallen Star. Okay, this book. And Claudia, I know that you just started following me on Instagram. Thank you
Claudia,
for the
I know
follow.
you're watching.
Um, yeah, she's watching from Disney World.
Like she doesn't
I
have
mean, if
better
she
things to
is, that would
do.
be amazing. Claudia's gonna come and chat. Yes, I am watching. Um,
She's just on one of the rides on her
yeah,
laptop.
yeah, exactly. I enjoyed
It's
this
time for
book.
fireworks.
Yeah, it's time for fireworks. I enjoyed this book, but I have issues with it. Um, and I'll get your thoughts here in a second, but I kind of just need to like
Yeah. You
kind
go
of
ahead. We'll
kind
go.
of. This is my least favorite of the trilogy, I guess you could say. I think Cavan's is number one because he just set the
Yeah.
bar so high.
Yeah.
Um,
It's hard to follow the Rising Storm.
with that ending, it is really hard to follow. But Daniel follows that ending
Oh
really
yeah.
well with Trail of Shadows. I feel like I I really wish Daniel had written this book as like a companion piece to Trail of Shadows.
Yeah.
Not don't get me wrong, like I said, this book is very entertaining. It's Claudia Gray just like having fun. Like I picture the High Republic as just them like smashing action figures together and just like, figuring out like what they want to do.
Yeah,
Um
saying it's the least good of the three adult books isn't saying that much because of how good the High
no,
Republic has been.
yeah, exactly. Um there are 3 deaths in this book that piss me off. Stellan Geos, especially after that interview with Claudia Gray, knowing that he survived the first draft of the book. Orla Jareni doing something that is completely beyond her character, and then you kill her off screen. And then Buryaga, which I'm still holding out hope that he's alive.
Oh, Buryaga's alive.
I really
Buryaga's
think out of the
alive.
3, Buryaga is well, Orla's dust.
All right.
Number
Let
one,
me,
but
if I may.
yeah, no, go ahead.
So it is my belief that Stellan Geos is alive.
Foil hat.
It is my belief that Stellan Geos is alive.
I,
We didn't see a body, right? We
But
didn't see a body.
Aver
We
no,
didn't.
can't feel him.
We didn't. We didn't
no,
see it from his perspective.
and you're right though. Avar can't feel him because Elzar taught him how to cut himself off from the Force.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
good point.
And
Yeah,
there's been instances in Star Wars, right, where you couldn't feel some people for other reasons. Maybe he's in the world between worlds. I don't know.
I
I might need
mean,
more. I might need more tinfoil for that, but
Luke never felt Palpatine coming back.
yeah,
Nobody ever felt Palpatine coming back.
Well, Luke was disconnected from the Force
Well,
then,
yeah,
so
that's true. If Luke can do that and still survive everything that he
yeah,
survived, Stellan could do that too.
yeah. Like so. But Orla's definitely dead, or is she?
No,
she's dead.
So
Yes.
Orla's that I think is that to me was the slap in the face though,
yeah, I think Orla's made me the most upset personally.
Yeah.
because she does like, hey, let me go investigate that thing that those other people died investigating. And it's like, Orla, that is way beyond your character, especially in the 1.5 books that you're in, because in Into
Mhm.
the Dark, she is very much against doing that thing without a
Right.
partner.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
always like,
To be
hey, like let's
fair,
take a minute to reflect and like figure
Yeah,
out is this a trap?
a
exactly.
lot of why Marky Rue's plan worked was because of the leveler sort of screwing with everybody's judgment and their that was like a big part of it is they're not themselves, they're not feeling like themselves. And I know that's sort of a cop out, and I know that I would have personally preferred Orla to have acted a little more in character. There is just I feel like a narrative there is a narrative reason for it, even if it's not necessarily the strongest.
Well, the narrative reason for her death is to drive Comac to leave the Order.
Yeah.
Um, spoiler alert. Um, but
Maggie is a big World Between Worlds supporter, apparently.
because I love Ezra Bridger a whole lot. Uh,
Come
I want
get your
more of
come get
it.
your hat, Maggie.
yeah.
We're
I
in this
mean,
together.
Stellan possibly being alive, I'll buy that. I buy
I don't think
Buryaga being alive too.
Orla's
Mhm.
alive.
No, Orla's dust in the
Orla's dead.
wind. Um,
Hey.
'Cause, yeah, they found her. She was
yeah,
husked. Like there's
yeah.
no coming back from that.
Um, so let's talk about Stellan's sacrifice real quick. In my opinion, this should have been Chansey Yarrow.
Yeah,
And it could have been.
could have been,
Could have
but
been
then
if Elzar didn't do his thing.
Yeah, which was completely out of character to what they were building towards in that part.
I have a theory.
okay,
Okay,
what's your
go
theory?
ahead.
So Elzar killing Chansey.
Hold on, take this first.
Burry
Obviously,
is
is it okay if we talk High Republic comic as well? Just a brief
yeah,
mention.
go ahead, that's fine.
So we saw Avar kind of losing her wits about her, and she's like
Yes.
just slack hash uh, with Lorna D, um, and like all the other random Nile. So I don't know. I think it gives them something to kind of connect over in the wake of the fallen star.
Yeah.
Elzar ends this book saying that like the person he has to talk to about it is Avar. And of course, Avar is going to be able to tell him like, "Hey, I did that too." So
Oh, that's right.
maybe
Yeah.
realize that he's not alone in losing
Because like the
the
like
light.
because the entire thing that he kept saying was that Avar's was so much better than this. I'm
Yes,
never gonna be a
Yeah,
exactly.
Jedi like
but
Avar.
he
And
had
he's going to
no
realize that
idea.
she's fallible too, and
Oh
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
not as like.
Showing that she's like a human being
Yeah.
Mhm.
too, and makes it's. I think that's pretty good. I do think that yeah, I think that was done pretty well personally, but you
Yeah,
know,
like we see Stellan like being unsure of himself, which
Hmm.
like it seems like it's kind of against his character from everything they mentioned leading
Yeah.
up to this point. And like we see him like realizing that like he is his own person without being a Jedi, like, and he
Yeah.
never explored that. So we see Stellan like kind of questioning his identity. We see Avar losing control, Elzar losing control, and then learning how to regain it, and then
Hmm.
still like having that setback. So it's kind of showing us like you have these three like beacons, like these paragons basically that are put up on this pedestal as like
Yeah.
heroes of the High Republic, but they're still able to, be put into those situations where they make
Maggie.
the wrong choices or question their connection to the Force.
Yeah.
So I think one of the main reasons that like tinfoil
Oh,
aside,
Maggie.
Her
that I think that
hashtag Burry is alive. Yes.
one of the main reasons I think that Stellan's alive is because of the thing they were talking about with you can be someone without the Jedi Order. You are more
Hmm.
than your connection to that.
Yeah.
So I think that maybe Stellan is using this as like he's gonna go off on his own for a while and find himself without the Jedi having like any part of that.
I would agree with that. I think he's going to become a way seeker in a way.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Or maybe he'll have amnesia.
Oh, so we have like a Bucky Barnes type situation.
Yes.
Who the hell is Stellan?
Yeah, yeah, where Elzar's like Stell, and then he's like, "Who the hell is Stell?"
God,
Yep,
I
Uh,
would love to
exactly.
see
He can
that.
get a new
I
arm
was like,
too. He can get a droid arm.
He can
yeah,
get a droid.
even though
To,
even though like I want that moment more with Burry and Bell,
yeah.
where Bell's just
Furry's a
like
lot. Like,
where Bell's like, "Burry, you're alive," and then Buryaga speaking Shri Wook is just like,
Oh.
"Who the hell is Burry?" And then just punches him in the face.
yeah.
Um,
Like,
Then
Buryaga
rips off his arm.
is like
yeah,
the
rips
main
off his arm.
character of the young reader books. I have no doubt
Yeah,
that Furry's alive.
I don't think you killed
I'm not worried
your
about
main
Buryaga.
character of your young reader books.
Yeah.
They don't
I'm
kill
worried
kids
about
in Star
Buryaga. I'm
Wars.
not worried that he's dead.
What was that?
They don't kill kids in Star Wars.
No,
Never. They've never killed a kid
never.
in Star
No,
Wars. Not
never.
now.
Anakin never slaughtered younglings.
But the point is, Buryaga's alive.
Yeah,
I'm
out of
Yeah.
everybody that died in that book,
yeah.
he's the one that had the biggest chance of survival.
Yeah. I'm glad. Let me say something that I'm glad didn't die, and I thought would die is Indira. I went in so sure that Indira Stokes was
Yeah,
gonna pick it.
honestly, I would have loved if Belle had just stayed put in the hospital and not like kept running around Starlight.
I
Yeah.
mean, he did in the end there.
He did in the end after he built a bomb to separate the station.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that was a great scene. And then like Ember's asleep the entire time.
Yeah. I love Ember.
She's such a
Yes.
good
I've got
girl.
Ember on my
She
phone.
is.
Look, there's Ember.
Yes, our favorite Charhound.
Oh, the baby.
Um,
I
are
need
we
to get
all
this
over
off
the
of my
place
head.
with the spoiler review, or is this okay?
A little bit, but
What's
I mean,
what's that?
Yeah. I
it's
was
all
like, I feel like we're
connected.
all over the place with this, but like there really isn't like a solid place to start.
Yeah, there's a lot that happens.
Yeah. Um, I will say this too.
I'll keep this for later.
You could have done the whole sabotaging of Starlight with the levelers instead of the three bumbling Nile people.
It's a weird.
Yeah,
That was a weird turn.
it really was. Like it felt out of character.
Mm.
Like you already know like the levelers are on the station. Like let them cause the destruction of the station. Because we're led to believe that. Like through the comics and through the lead up to this, it's like, oh, the levelers are coming to Starlight. Yeah. Oh, we
Did have
just
to get
lost
them
Luna.
loose. Oh no, Luna!
Yeah, Luna. Luna will be back, folks.
She'll be back.
Yeah, she's probably fixing her tinfoil hat for the next thing.
There might have been some interference. Oh no,
Discord
Discord crash.
crashed. As always, it wouldn't be a live show without Luna's Discord crashing.
Hi. I got
Hi.
my weekly Discord crashing on
Yeah.
stream moment. Once per stream.
It's like on Level Up Live with John and Joey, how like Joey's like audio cuts out a bunch of times.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes back after just a second, so it's not too
Yeah.
bad, but it is annoying.
Back to the leveler though, I just wanted to say real quick. So
Yeah.
the whole sabotage with those guys, I think that and it wasn't really clear throughout.
Yeah.
But I think that they had to do their sabotage thing to be able to get the levelers out of their crates without it. Or maybe I misread that. I don't know. But that was what I thought that they were doing.
No, because they said like when they got on the station, they put a like small explosive device on the door to the cage so that when they
Okay.
started working
I think it was
like it would like detonate and like the leveler would then be let loose on the station.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought it was pretty clever. I thought it was that they put the levelers on the station initially to sort of use that mind clouding thing as cover so that the so that the people could sabotage everything without being sensed by the Jedi.
Well,
Mm.
yeah, it's. I have to go back and reread the damn book now.
I know, I do too.
I don't know if I'm ready to.
On a positive note,
Yes.
especially if you read the audiobooks, the levelers are freaking scary.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, Mark Thompson does a great job with that.
and like the sound design where it's just like these horrible droning sounds whenever like you can tell they're coming before he starts talking about it, and I think
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
really well done. Like it
Yeah.
made me scared.
Yeah.
Those were scary creatures,
If
and
there
they've done a good job with that.
if there's one thing that these audiobooks have done, especially with the High Republic, is it sets the mood really, really quickly,
They're so good at
especially
Mhm.
with
setting the
Mark
tone.
Thompson's narration and everything. Um, and he just, I love how his Stellan also kind of sounds like Obi-Wan a little bit.
Yes, he
Yes, he
sounds like
does.
he does sound like Obi-Wan,
Yeah.
and I love
Yeah.
that.
But then like a couple of his characters, it's one of it's in the Thrawn Ascendancy trilogy.
I didn't know that he did that
Samacro.
one.
Yeah, he does the audio for that. Samacro
Cool.
sounds like Jack Nicholson
More stuff to read.
in a way. And then like there's times like when Mark Thompson will be doing a character in like Rising Storm or Light of the Jedi or Fallen Star, and it's like, is that like did Jack Nicholson just join like the Star Wars universe?
I
Yeah,
never noticed that.
I have a really funny one because we're listening to Rising Storm right now, Fred and I.
yeah.
Um, and why can't I remember her name? The woman, the inventor who hires Ty. I
Oh,
can't Mantessa. Yeah, it
yeah,
was
yeah,
Mantessa.
yeah.
Mantis.
We were listening to it the other night, we're like folding laundry, and her like speaking comes on, and I was like, "That's Doctor Evil." Like
Yeah,
straight up,
You're
this
right.
is
yes,
Doctor Evil.
yes,
And then we're like listening to it, and I was just like, $1 million.
yeah.
Like I cannot unhear it now.
I
Aralani kind of sounds like that too in
Yeah.
Ascendancy.
I remember I really liked his Orla too. I thought he did a good Orla.
His Orla is pretty good.
Leox
Um,
is straight up Matthew
The
McConaughey.
way that
Yes.
the way that
oh yeah,
oh yeah.
Oh, and okay, so Fallen Star.
yes,
I underlined this in my book as I was reading it. We get an all right, all right, all right from Leox
yes, we
Giassi. And
do,
I just
we
I
do.
love
she went
Leox.
there and I loved it.
I'm so glad Leox didn't die. I was so scared,
Oh,
but then he parachuted down.
when they're like like the hangar doors open and Leox got sucked out, and I was like, really? We're doing this?
Yep.
No,
You
he
broke my heart enough with Buryaga.
I think someone told Claudia that, okay, you have all these original characters that you made for Into the Dark, and you've got to kill one of them. And she couldn't kill off the vessel crew, so it had to be Orla. That's my theory on why Orla was the one
I
to go.
I get it now because of the events of Midnight Horizon. I get because it has to drive Comac to that
Yes.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
it still hurts. It still hurts because I
yeah,
really loved Orla.
like Orla's death makes more sense because of Midnight Horizon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I still don't.
Leox was on my hit list. Maggie.
Leox is. I didn't see. Yeah, I just see that. Leox
Orla
was on it.
died so
Yeah,
Leox could live.
Maggie.
at least Geode didn't die.
Geode
Oh,
is the
can
hero.
we talk about Geode for a second? Because
We don't talk about
I was
yeah, we
laughing
don't
so
talk about
hard
Geode. No. I will
every
say
time
this:
Geode did anything in this book.
Geode has the best entrance in this book, sneaking up on Elzar Mann when Elzar's like trying to board the vessel, and like Elzar meets Orla at the ramp, and then Geode's like right behind him. And Elzar's like, "Where did you come from?" It's like that scene in The Office where like Dwight is like on that date, like at the Dave and Buster's, and like
Oh my
Angela like
God.
pops up like right behind him.
Yes.
It's exactly like that scene.
And he has like this whole internal monologue like, is this another test? Is this some ancient plinth
Yeah.
from
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, like
And then
and
and
Elzar's
then
just
Nora's like,
like,
"Oh, you've met our navigator."
yeah, Elzar's just like, this is a test. That this is test of the dark side. And then Orla's like, no, you idiot. He's like our navigator, you know. I guessed Orla, Stellan, Indira, Nib, Chansey, and Leox. I have to stop guessing deaths because I got too many right. Yes, please
Maggie.
stop guessing deaths.
Except Stellan isn't. Hold on.
Uh,
Except Stellan
thank
isn't
you,
dead.
tinfoil hat.
So
Now, that's
I
got to
think I
be
put
your
it on
shtick.
backwards.
That's got to be your shtick whenever you come back on the show.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Um,
keep it nearby.
yeah, I will say this. Another funny thing about Geode is, and I brought this up like a few weeks back, where like Geode takes a couple of blaster shots in this book,
Yeah,
and it bounces off of him because he can magnetize himself. And
it was foreshadowed really well.
I was thinking about this, and I was like, it's like a bunch of little kids playing with toys. It's like, nuh-uh, he could do that the whole time. Nuh-uh, no.
Playing with action figures, and then
Yeah,
one of them is like, I have a rock.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
everyone's
pretty
like,
much.
cool. What can the rock do? Well, the rock can
Anything.
magnetically seal itself to shield, so that if you shoot it, you're just gonna get shot back again.
That
And
was the
everyone's like,
best way. I don't remember
Tommy,
his name, but
Tommy,
the guy
that's
who got
unfair.
killed.
yes, you
Wait,
can't
what's his
just
name? I
make
gotta
up those
find it.
rules like that.
Yeah, you can't
Not
just
fair,
make up those
Claudia.
rules. It's not fair, Claudia. Like that to me is like what it sounds like. And like Affy's just like, "Oh yeah, like
He
how
can
did
do
we
that.
not know about this in Into the Dark where he's getting shot at?" Like Geode
Did Geode
literally
get shot
takes
out?
the brunt of an explosion in Into the Dark.
That was
Yep.
so good. He saved Reeth's life. I was so good.
Nothing. Nothing. No,
Can we
you don't.
also talk about how Geode is apparently Mr. Steal Your Girl? Like,
I was just about to bring that up. Geode is like the ultimate ladies' man.
He's flirting with his
And like
wife.
he's flirting with the life, and Joss picks up on it.
Yes, so good.
Joss
It's
picks up
so
on it,
good.
and then Affy's like, oh no, no, no,
No.
he would
no, he's not
never.
doing that. And then like Geode's in the cockpit of the vessel. Geode, we gotta talk about this. Like
Yep.
I love Geode so much you don't even know.
because like even Leox is like trying to play it off, and Leox is just like, no, this is bad. Like
Yeah.
I love
I
Geode
will say
so much.
this as
Staging an intervention.
oh, you have to. I will say this. As much as this book has doom and gloom, it has a lot of great moments of levity,
Yes.
especially with Geode.
It does.
Everything with the crew of the vessel is really good.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's so funny. Um, I okay. Can I say another one of my beefs with this book?
Oh,
Absolutely.
Rathtars, really? You had to
that
bring
was okay.
Rathtars into
I just
this?
want to
And
say
bringing
the
Rathtars
funniest
for the
part
kids'
of the
book.
entire book
Yeah.
for me was when Belle opened up that second cargo hold and said, "Okay, this one actually has Rathtars in
Yeah,
it."
and it's like, and you do nothing to seal this cargo hold? Like nothing?
Nope.
Like Bell just lets it open.
I,
And
I
I'm
guess he
like,
didn't think there was gonna be actual Rathtars in it. That
yeah,
was the funniest part of the. That
yeah.
was such
It
a
was
good line.
like, oh yeah, it's just like,
Okay,
okay,
there
there's
actually are
Rathtars.
Rathtars in here. Why? Why are
And
there
like, and like you can just tell, like everybody's just looking at him like, you idiot.
Yeah,
Like,
Absolutely.
poor
yeah.
Belle.
Like, how did the Jedi not know that there was a Rathtar in there? I mean,
Like
obviously
even
levelers, but
well, even then, like they could
Ugh.
still sense like life forms were on board the station.
right.
So like they could have sensed something in the crate. But
Theoretically, yeah.
yeah, theoretically.
He was having a bad day. You know what?
But you know, Vincians can decide to magnetically seal themselves, and so
Nuh-uh, Claudia. No, that's not how it works.
I loved that. I love that they sort of foreshadowed that at the very beginning, like there, and then it
yes.
came back and he used it to go pew.
Like,
I hated that dude. I just want to say real quick, I love the how he gets his comeuppance. I
Yes.
forget his
yes.
name,
I don't
but
remember
I'm
his
trying to
name.
find it right
Can
now.
he's
we
I
like
got
call him?
Cole something.
Can we call him
Oh,
stupid kid that no one likes?
oh, wait. Before I forget,
Yeah.
I just accidentally went to it. I love that Nan kept calling Affy Addie.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I was like, even in her own narration, just like
She's such
that Addie.
a petty character. And that was actually leading into it. I was gonna say it was that so that guy, gets killed off by the deflected shot.
Yeah.
And then Nan is like, yeah, I'm gonna take that ship.
Yeah.
That's mine. It's like everything that guy like wanted to protect and preserve and like, making all these selfish decisions for himself. Everyone was like, no, we're gonna have that.
I
So
I will say this: the best joke in this book.
Coley Lynn.
Okay,
yes.
Coley Lynn. Yes, the best joke in this book is when Elzar sends Stellan the droid
Yes! And it was
at
actually
the
useful.
beginning of the book,
Yeah.
and then as one last prank, Stellan sends it back to
Yep.
Elzar.
Yeah.
And like I'm like crying, but I'm laughing so hard because this droid shows back up.
I was so sad.
I
Did you
was
guys
like,
It was
hear
so good.
the backstory with the name of the droid?
What's that? I don't know that.
yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
so the droid is JJ45 something, or, like I forget what the
Yeah,
numbers are.
JJ like
Um,
51455 or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
So of course I'm thinking like, okay, is it Jar Jar or JJ Abrams? Because like obviously both are names that bring ire to the
Jar Jar
fandom.
Abrams.
Bring ire to the
Yeah.
fandom.
Jar Jar Abrams, yeah.
Yeah, Jar Jar Abrams.
Jar Jar
So I was
Abrams.
kind of thinking it was like a little nod from Claudia to either that character
Yeah.
or that director. But no, so there's a guy that's on Instagram, a huge Star Wars fan, huge High Republic fan. That droid name is actually his Instagram username.
Oh.
That's
Um,
really cool.
Yeah, I think it was
yes.
5145.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
it's like 51455 or something.
he is a
Yeah.
member of the Facebook group Star Wars Book Nerds. Shout out in case anyone wants to join it because it's amazing.
It is a
Uh,
great book. Great. Yeah.
but he posted a picture of
JJ
Claudia actually sent
5145. Nailed it.
Okay.
Claudia sent him a copy of the book, and at the bottom of the inscription, it said like, "My surprise for you starts on page 19," and then like flip to 19, and it's got the name. And I was like, "That is,
That's really sweet.
Yeah,
I love it. That was just
it's
such a nice thing for
The
her
fact
to
that
do."
he sent Elzar the droid back was
yeah, and then
Yes, and the
like
droid makes it.
the droid does make it.
I
And
thought he
the
wouldn't make it, and
and
I was
then
sad about it.
another funny bit from JJ5145 is when like everything's going down on the station, like everything's like being destroyed, the station's crashing. JJ5145 is still giving Stellan the reports in like the most optimistic voice possible.
Mark Thompson does JJ
Oh,
5145, where
he
like
does it
it
so
oscillates
well.
between being really deep and really high,
Oh yeah,
and
he
it's
gets
really
so
good.
excited. And like Stellan's like,
reminded me
"Well,
of
what
a
guy is this?" Huh?
It reminded me of a non-murdery version of Mr. Bones as far as the audio voice
Yes. Yes, it did. Yes.
from the Aftermath series.
Yeah.
We
Uh,
we've spent almost 40 minutes on the phone star, and we still have
yeah.
Midnight Horizon.
Yeah. Read the book, people. Just
Yeah,
So good.
read the book.
So
read
good.
it.
Starlight Beacon goes down, people die, and
We have our
oh,
Elzar and Avar reconnection at the end there.
I'm gonna piss Maggie off real quick.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Screwed Garrus Staros.
yeah, no, screw her.
I
Maybe
hate
Archeon will.
I saw yeah. I saw that coming from a mile away. The gasp at the end, I thought was the stupidest thing ever. He's like, I am Marky and Row, I am the eye of the storm. And she's like, what?
Like you didn't know? Like
Yeah,
you knew. You knew.
I don't think that's what it meant, but
I know. Sorry, Maggie, I love you.
I mean, if we don't like Gara, that's fine. We get Gara out of the way, Maggie can take over. It's cool.
Yes, Listen. That's all I get is a listen. So while Maggie's writing down her thoughts,
Listen.
let's move on to Midnight Horizon, which is Daniel Jose Alder's young adult novel. But this could
And
actually be an adult novel with
this
with
is I want to say right now, this is my favorite Star Wars book, period.
I can see that. It's
It's up there for me.
it's really really good. Ash told me you don't kin Star skins you.
You don't kin Staros.
Star skins
Staros kins you.
like Jedi Elzar Ash. Okay. Uh, okay.
I love this book
Midnight
more than I can
Horizon
describe.
is the greatest road trip novel of all time.
Mhm.
It is the greatest buddy cop comedy of all time.
Ah,
I was rereading through this book today, and I gotta tell you, the, the scene with Wreath and Ram on the rooftop during the sting operation, and Ram is
doing
Ram
the accent.
is doing that ridiculous like German, Italian, and French accent, and Wreath is
This is like
giving him this face like, "What the hell are you doing?"
and it works.
It it's so funny.
This is like the funniest book in the High Republic. It's so good.
Oh my god.
Trying to bring up, I had my ebook copy as a galley, and it's not letting me pull up my highlights from it.
Oh.
But oh my God, I highlighted so many just like funny phrases.
It's so
And
great.
I kept like stopping it, like I was reading it, and then I'd stop and be like, "Hey, you need to listen to this quote from this book real quick," to my husband. And he's like, "Context?" I'm like, "No, you don't even need context. You just need to listen to it because it's
Yeah.
hilarious."
I really like the Todd Haverforth. That's the guy who does the
Yeah,
audiobooks
he's really
for
good
this
because he
and
did
Crash Point
Race to
Tower.
Crash Point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ram and Wreath's relationship in this is so I
It's
love them.
it's
It's like Big
so
Brother, Little
funny.
Brother. They're perfect
Oh
together.
yeah. It's so funny. And I love how like they like there's the
Maggie,
other scene. Hold on, I gotta read this. And then Ash, my IRL friend, said the Nile would be gone within an hour if I was to meet Marky, and because I convinced him it was better for us if he disbanded the Nile, didn't listen.
heart emoji. The heart emoji at the end is
Maggie,
what
we
really
love
makes it for
you,
me.
and we wish that you were
I
here
can
with
fix
us
it.
tonight. But we
Feel
love
better
you.
soon, Maggie.
Yes, feel better soon. I will say this though, like another one is where Wreath and Ram go undercover at the meeting,
Yeah,
and Comac and Canham come walking in,
and
and
see,
they immediately recognize Wreath and Ram.
Why are you dressed like child assassins?
It's the greatest. It's the greatest line ever. It's so funny. I mean, folks, if you've not read Midnight Horizon, you need to. It is the funniest Star Wars book I've ever read
It
because
is.
it's like if all of us were in that situation,
yeah.
like
Yes.
trying to figure these things out. It's
It's a
great.
girl.
I love
Oh
like
yeah.
you've got like the mystery and the intrigue, like we're
Oh
on
yeah.
Coruscant. There's like political stuff
Yeah, it's more
happening,
than just funny, but
Oh
it's
yeah.
so
There
funny.
there is
but it's like all
such a
that's
great
happening,
mystery.
and then
Yeah.
like there's still light to be made of all of
Oh,
it. Like Crash
the
is,
crash.
I love Crash.
when,
yeah.
when Crash shows up at the temple or at the Republic facility, and Wreath, I just picture Wreath and Ram just looking at each other and just yelling Crash.
And then okay, can we talk about the fact that this
Yes.
is what 3 books now with Reese Silas,
Yes.
where this kid has had a crush on everyone.
he
Like
has.
every time a pretty girl comes into his vicinity, we've got Anne,
Oh,
we've got
Reef.
Vernestra, we've got Crash. I'm
Oh,
like,
I know. And
Reef.
then
Oh, Reef.
and then Daniel writes that line where it's like Reith hasn't had really good luck with crushes. In fact, he wants all of the crushes.
Yeah. He's decided to nullify the situation entirely by
Yeah,
having all of the crushes.
all the crushes.
I mean, crushes aren't forbidden, right? So,
No, um,
no.
Technically not.
I will say this before we get into like the real seriousness in this book here. I will say one of my favorite things is the Cantum Psi backstory that
Yes,
we
that's
get.
what I want. That's what I wanted to talk about.
And I gotta tell you, this book, if I will tell you this, this book is very well. The High Republic in general is very representative of the LGBTQ plus community, which I absolutely love. But like this book, like really drives it home, in a good way. Like
Yeah.
I'm not saying like it hits you over the head.
Those
Like
dang
yeah,
SJWs.
no, I'm not.
Kathleen Kennedy, I
Yeah.
can't believe you.
I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is Daniel does a really good job at building these relationships um, between same-sex characters, non-binary characters, what have you. He does a really, really good job with that. Um, yeah, the Cantum Psi backstory, like at one point, Cantum leaves the Order to,
was that was so cool.
yeah,
I
and
know.
then comes back.
He like goes and joins the circus for a while, and then he
Yeah,
comes back
yeah.
and he's like found himself, and he's found Lula, and that
And he
was the
found
cutest
Lula.
thing
Yeah,
in the world when they were by the fire and Lula was like asleep on him. That was on
yeah,
them. That was the cutest thing ever.
and
What
I
was she
will.
say? Like, did I do a good? Did I do it good?
Yeah,
Did I do a good?
I think that was what the quote was. I was just
Did I
like,
do a bad? No, you
yeah.
did a good.
yes, yeah. Oh my God, my heart melted.
Cantum, I
Loved it.
love Cantum. They're so good.
And I will say this: like Cantum is a great parental figure for Lula too.
Yes, they're amazing. Love them so
Yes.
much.
And like to me, it really like kind of parallels what Lula goes through with Zine at first,
Yeah.
Mhm.
where like Lula's kind of like that parental figure slash sisterly figure to Zine,
Mhm.
and like we see their relationship grow into what we now see in High
Yeah.
Republic Adventures and by the end of this book.
Oh, and
um and
I gotta
it's it's incredible. Go ahead, Luna.
I gotta say, every Lula chapter was amazing. I love that she
Yes.
Yep.
goes undercover as a pop star. Every zine chapter, I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
that
meant
is
zine.
great because
My
she's like, what
brain's all
now?
fried
Miss
talking about this
Z.
freaking book.
Ms. Z.
Ms. Z.
Yeah,
But oh, it's so sad that she like sent Lula the confession message when she knew that Starlight was coming down and Lula was on it. Ah, it's
I
such
don't remember, did
gut
Lula
wrenching.
escape Starlight?
We don't know yet.
Okay, that's right, we
The
She's
won't know
missing,
till.
presumed
official,
dead.
yeah, it was missing, presumed dead was
My
what
that's
they
probably
said
going to
at
be
the end.
explored in the last High Republic Adventures, I
Yeah,
think.
we'll get that in 13, yeah. Because the whole
This,
crew of the Starhopper was going back to Starlight with
Yeah, and
Grix, yeah.
we know that Buckets of Blood and Court were there,
Yeah,
but we still have Farzala and Lula unaccounted for.
we know that Court survives. We don't know about Farzala.
We
yeah.
don't know about Farzala, we don't know about Lula, we don't know about Buckets of Blood.
But all I have to say is V18 was not with Ram,
No,
and V18 can fly.
yeah.
Ooh, ooh,
So did
ooh.
we have a bunch of Padawans jump off of Starlight with the help of V18?
In Irem's atmosphere?
Exactly.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I hope so because they're on the top half, which is gonna
Maggie,
burn up in the atmosphere.
Maggie said Lula better be alive or Daniel will have words from me.
Oh yeah. Lula better not. I don't think they'll kill Lula in the
No,
I
High
don't
Republic
think
Adventure.
I don't
Daniel
think
would.
so.
I don't think he could kill Lula.
No, I don't.
I
I
don't
don't
think he
think.
has
I
Night
honestly
Court.
don't
Night
think.
Court.
I honestly don't think he'll kill really any of the
Yeah.
characters from HRA.
I've said this.
I could see Buckets, maybe
Yeah, I think
Buckets.
I don't think he's gonna kill buckets in his underwear. Um
Thank you.
I've said it before, I've said it again. I think that Buckets is in his underwear because it's going to be a gag in High Republic 13, where Buckets like saves Lula and Farzala and he's inexplicably in his underwear. I think that's going to be
That
like
would
the
be pretty
joke.
funny.
I think that's why he is
You're
in his
just like,
underwear.
Master
But
Buck.
I don't. I think if anybody dies, it's gonna be Buckets.
Yeah, if
But
anybody dies,
like, I don't
he
see
better
them
not though.
killing. I don't see them killing the Padawans or any of the other masters from the Star Hopper. I
I want to
think
see.
I think Daniel really needs to keep that crew together to continue
Yes,
telling the story.
Yeah.
Because how many young fans are fans of these characters because
Yeah.
of this comic series and because
and
of these books?
Yeah.
I want to see Lula getting Zine's message while she's on Starlight and not knowing if she's going to survive.
Yeah.
Ugh, heartbreaking.
And
Yeah.
Night Court, yeah.
We
Night
we
Court.
can't
I'm
have
so proud
another
of my
kill your
boy.
gaze trope.
What's that?
We can't have more of the kill your gaze. Like we finally we could
Yeah.
have like the
Yeah.
sapphic couple with
I
Lila and
thought
Zine and
I
like
really thought they were going to kill Cantum, and then they didn't. When Yoda had his like Gandalf the White moment,
I
Yeah.
know.
where he appeared at the Battle of whatever.
Yeah.
I don't remember what battle it was that.
Buck
Which battle was
also
it that Gandalf
said,
came back in?
uh,
Helm's Deep.
yeah, it was Helm's Deep.
Okay.
Buck
Mhm.
also said we've already lost some young Jedi, so I don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, we have lost some younger Jedi through the High Republic because of the attacks on the various temples and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's move on here to like our main plot of this book, which is the Nile have infiltrated the core worlds now,
Yeah.
especially the Corellian government.
Yes,
This is such a good setting.
It
it was.
really is, because this is like where the mystery takes a really cool turn.
Yeah.
Um, honestly, the Nile Masquerade was really cool,
Yes.
Mhm.
but I don't think it should have gone down the way that it did. Because it just felt like that group was just way too easily influenced. Yeah. Um, I will say this. What's her name? The
The
Sabat?
the air kit.
Yeah, the Urkit. Is
Sabata
that
Krill.
Sabata, I think.
Sabata?
Sabata Krill.
Sabata
Sabata
Krill.
girl. Um, her pretty much blowing up that dude, that was dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was dark too. I was like, wow, we're doing
I love
this?
how quick she was to turn on Crix.
Yeah.
She's just
Rip
like, no.
Pribolt, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Rip
Okay,
Pribolt.
I really
We got
loved
a
that we had some solo tie-ins
we
here.
got a
Yes.
Proxima cameo.
We got a Proxima
Yeah,
cameo
we
and
did.
like
Like, come
learn
on.
more about the White Worms. I thought that was really
Yeah.
cool.
We got all of this really cool. I don't remember the species off the top of my head, but
Oh yeah, the white worms. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But we got
And
to know all this about their society and stuff.
like the
Yes.
Corellian hounds, it was really cool to see like
Yeah.
more of those and them delving into
Mhm.
those. Even the Cantum shipyards.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, like and seeing the Purgle class star cruisers like being
The
built and
purple
everything.
class.
Yeah, I love that name for a
That
class of
battle,
star cruiser.
that battle in the shipyard was so cool.
Yeah.
I
It's
love that the
hands down.
creator of the Purgle classes, he's an Anzellan,
Yeah.
which he's
Hey, hey.
basically a Babu Frick.
Yeah, he is.
Hey, hey.
Hey,
Um
hey,
and I
droid
love
is ready.
yeah. And I love that the Bonbrax can speak to him and like translate
Yes.
for him too.
So good. They just
Uh
share like a common
yeah.
language
And like
thing with them.
Ram is just all into it too. He's just like,
Yeah.
"Let's go!" Like,
Like to quote Crash, Ram is
Oh shit.
obviously the best kid in the galaxy.
oh, he is.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
my
like
god.
Crash knows Ram for about 5 minutes and she's like,
Yeah,
"We
what
got to protect this
Just like,
boy at all
I like
yeah.
costs."
Everybody just adopts Ram and it's my
Yeah.
favorite thing.
She's like, you're my son now.
Yeah,
Nobody talk to me or
exactly.
my son ever again.
Exactly. Um but the battle at the shipyards is really cool, especially like the High Republic has given us so many great battle moments,
Hmm.
like in Star Wars, like that have rivaled those of the
Yeah.
movies.
Like we've got the battle in the Kern Nebula, we've got
Yeah.
the attack on Valo, the Battle of Grisal. We've
It's
got
getting really strong Geonosis vibes with the Battle
Yep.
of the Shipyards.
Yep.
yes,
Of
because
course,
of how
with
outnumbered they
Yoda
were.
to the rescue to come back in and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Uh, which I mean, they feel like we spent so much of this book kind of like mentioning how Yoda's been MIA for so long, like during this
Yeah.
whole Nile threat.
I didn't expect him to come. I still didn't expect him to come back. That still
I thought
surprised
that
me.
I thought they would have waited till 13 to bring him back.
Yeah,
So I only expected to see him again because I think they had already released the covers
Yeah.
for the High Republic Adventures, and he is with everybody, like with their lightsabers raised
Yeah.
on the cover for the next um, Adventures book.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh well, he's got to come back sometime because
Yeah.
there he is.
I
But
can't wait to see where Comac's story takes him. By the way,
I think he's definitely going to go that Wayseeker route. I think he's still going to be a guardian of light and life, but
Mhm.
he's not going to be.
a Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won't serve the
He gave his
order.
lightsaber to Wreath.
Yeah. Which that was such a touching moment.
Yeah.
Are we gonna see Jedi Knight Wreath Silas dual wielding from here on out?
Oh, that'd be so cool. In the same way, by the way, that
Stellan.
Stellan did in The
Yeah.
Rising Storm
Yeah.
Yes,
with
with
his
his
master's
master's
lightsaber.
lightsaber.
Yeah.
I also love Comac's lightsaber, how it's like curved.
It's
Yeah.
similar to that Dooku lightsaber.
Yeah. I think it looks
Mhm.
so cool. I love
Now,
Comac's lightsaber.
my question is though, because we know Keeve's part of the Lost 20, is Comac now part of the Lost 20?
That's a good question.
I would think so,
I guess
yeah.
it depends on if he does come back eventually.
Yeah, because in my
Yeah.
opinion, I think he should just be. I think he should just wayseek and kind of just do his own thing and protect
Find himself.
people and find himself, do his folklore thing, his archivist thing. Like I could see him like honestly, I could see him like going to Octo and like investigating the first temple
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that. I'm
and like
really a
Maggie
big
just
fan
said
of
in the
that.
chat that Comac leaving shocked her. Like I
yeah,
felt it coming,
That
but
shocked me
didn't at the
too.
same time.
yeah,
I will say I saw him going the Wayseeker route. Like I saw him like just saying like, okay, we've lost Orla. I'm gonna do what she was doing.
yeah,
Um,
Sort of
so
pick
I
up
was
where he
really
left off.
surprised that he actually gave Wraith his lightsaber.
yeah,
I cried. I
yeah,
wasn't
I
expecting it,
cried.
but that
I
hit
cried
me.
at this book more than I cried at the Fallen Star.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and I think
Just so touching. It's such a touching book.
it's a really strong palate cleanser.
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
and honestly, a lot of people are saying Fallen Star is the conclusion of phase 1. No, Midnight
It's
Horizon
not.
is the
Yeah.
conclusion of phase 1. And
And we had like the last line of the book is from Yoda and says, "To understand the future, we must look at the secrets of the past." And
yeah,
that's the
Yep.
last line in the book.
yeah,
That's the kick it back to
yeah.
Yeah.
phase 2 part.
And you know
So,
what? If the first book starts with Yoda talking about the past and like the rest of the first book is just flashbacks to the past, I'm cool with that. I
Yeah.
don't
yep.
need Yoda. I mean, you can have Yoda bookend this phase from beginning to end
Mhm.
and not like show him at all throughout the rest of these books until like the end of phase 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, my heart's tapping. It does that when I talk about this book. I
Yeah.
love this
No,
book
it's
so much.
this might actually be my favorite young adult High Republic novel.
This is
Um
my
Yeah,
favorite
it
Star
is
Wars
for me
novel.
definitely.
yeah. I mean, Into the Dark was my favorite, but like this one like really surpassed
Yeah.
it with just Daniel's caliber of writing in this book was just spot on.
Daniel needs to write more novels, I
He
think.
does. He does.
Like his
He
comics are amazing,
oh
but
yeah.
the two comics he's written um my favorite middle grade novel and my favorite novel in Star Wars.
Yeah. I
So
mean, he wrote the hell out of Last Shot.
Yeah,
which was incredible.
I still need to listen to the audiobook
Oh,
version of
it's
that.
so good. It's so good. But like I want to see him take over like after Z Cordova's novel. I would love to see him do the next adult novel.
Yeah.
Please,
Yes,
please.
definitely.
Like
Because we
seriously.
know he's written in that age range. He's a
Yeah.
Last Shot, but
Yeah,
like, and I've been wanting to reread Last Shot lately because it was so freaking good.
it was.
Um, that was one that I saw a lot of discourse on because a lot of people were saying that um, like his writing style kind of took them out of like
Yeah.
the escapism of it. They're like,
Hmm.
I can't remember what it was, but there was a phrase that was used, and they're like, that just feels too Earth-like. And I was like, but I mean, they go to hell, and like,
Yeah.
we see those things in the films, so it's
Hmm.
really not out of character for that universe for those things to come up.
I would
Yeah.
kill to have Daniel Jose Older on this show to ask him
I
things.
mean, I'm gonna try to reach out to any of them and see if they can come on and just do
I have so many
like an
questions for each and
interview
every
or
one of them.
something. Um, Hell,
That
I'll
would
bring on the
be the
newer
feast.
writers too.
Yeah,
Like,
please.
I was gonna say Zoraida Cordova just has another book that came out like this week. I think I can't remember the title.
that's right,
Um,
she did.
it's like a magic.
Hmm.
I think it's an anthology. So
Yes.
I do like that they're still like doing this huge like multicultural sort of
Yeah.
cast of writers and
mhm.
these different identities. Like I know that George Mann has this background of writing LGBT focused
Yeah.
stuff.
Yes.
Tessa uses any pronouns.
Yep.
Um
Hmm.
it's just I'm so excited for phase 2. I
I
can't wait to see
I
what the
mean,
future holds.
but like we've talked about this before, and we're gonna wrap things up here in a minute, but um, you need a multicultural writing team for this story.
Yes.
This story doesn't work without a multicultural writing team,
No.
in my
We need
opinion.
people of different cultures, different gender
Yeah, you
identities, different
you do. I mean,
sexualities.
that's why I'm so glad. Like when I saw how diverse the Luminous authors were, I was
Yeah.
really happy.
And
Hmm.
they're continuing with that with the phase
Yeah.
2 authors, and that really makes me happy.
And knowing like Kevin's going to not only write the Marvel comic, but he's got more books on the way too, and
Yes.
Daniel's going to be writing a few comics. But like, I really, like I said, I just really want to see him do another adult Star Wars novel.
Please.
Um,
Please.
and I want
Daniel, if you're
Charles to
watching
do
this, and I
another
know you
novel
are.
too. Like, I want
Yes.
Charles to do another
Yeah.
novel because Light of the Jedi was so good.
It was the
And that
perfect
was his
opener to
first
the
novel, right?
No,
I
that
don't
was
think.
his first Star Wars novel. Yeah.
Okay.
He's written like a couple of thrillers here and there.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, this was his first Star Wars novel,
First Star Wars
and
novel.
killed it.
yeah,
Yeah.
the
Absolutely
No.
killed it.
Absolutely.
perfect introduction to the
Yeah.
era.
No,
Hmm.
Such
yeah.
a high note to begin on.
Yeah, and then like Cavan just elevated it. And
Yes.
like I said, as much as I griped about The Fallen Star tonight, I still really enjoyed it. And it's my least favorite of those three.
I want to say okay. So I think it's my least favorite because there's those hard hitting deaths in it.
Yeah.
Stuff that we didn't want to happen, and like that happens in movies too. They're like,
Yeah.
sometimes there'll be a death in a movie, and we go like, oh, I hate that movie because this character died,
Yeah.
but like it's still part of the story. It still
Yeah.
serves the narrative.
Yeah.
Um, so like even this one, I would say my top three. It's Rising Storm, Light of the Jedi, and then Fallen Star.
I
But
agree, but
I
again,
enjoyed the hell out of this book. Like I
Yeah.
put
couldn't put it down when I
putting the
was reading
Fallen
it.
Star in last place among those books isn't
Yeah.
saying much.
Exactly. Like
I
it's still
mean,
in good company.
yeah, I mean, I read through Light of the Jedi in 2 days. I read
Mhm.
through Rising Storm in a day
Yeah, I couldn't put the Rising
because,
Storm
like,
Yeah, I
down.
I
couldn't either.
couldn't put that down. And then I read through Fallen Star in about a day and a half. Like, I mean, like, you can't put them down.
Yeah.
No.
Like, you have to force yourself to put these books down.
A reading, like a moment of my reading experience
Yeah.
here. So obviously I have children, and like it's a normal thing for me to be sitting around the house reading a book,
Yeah.
library and stuff. So I'm like sitting on the couch, I'm reading it, and all of a sudden I just like put the book on my face, and my oldest daughter is like, "Who died?" And
Wow.
I was like, she's like, did the star fall?
Did the star fall?
And I was like, yeah, yeah, he did.
Yep.
It was, of
Yeah.
course, I was reading Stella
Hmm.
and stuff, and I
Yep.
was just
Oh,
like, it just took it out of me. Like I was like, give me five
I'm gonna
minutes
start
before I
crying
can
again, man.
Yeah.
person again.
Maggie read The Fallen Star in 5 hours. It was a trip.
Oh my god,
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know if I could marathon it like that because
it was too hard.
yeah. I mean, the death that I really cried out was Buryaga's
Hmm.
because he didn't need to die.
He's not dead. Hashtag
I
Buria.
know. He's not.
Hashtag
I was reading
Buriaga is
that
still
part.
alive.
I
I don't
I
need the
didn't
tinfoil hat for
cry.
Buriaga, but
I didn't cry about losing Burry because I think like just instantly I was like, there's gonna be some way that he's okay, because I
yeah.
mean
Yeah.
we've got the children's books, the
Yeah.
picture books.
And what kid doesn't love Buryaga?
Right. Like
Yeah.
I love
think
Buriaga.
I
He's
think that that would be them shooting themselves in the foot with that audience
Yeah.
if they
Buriaga.
kill off their
Buriaga.
adorable, lovable
Buriaga.
Yeah.
Buriaga.
giant Wookiee with a
Yeah.
lightsaber.
Yeah.
Like they
It was
wouldn't do that to kids. Like
yeah.
I know that we'll have, we've had younglings murdered, we've had Padawans die, whatever.
Yeah.
But like
But
when
they were
you've
just
got
like
a
random
character like
kids
that, you
though in that
cannot
case.
kill them
Not
off.
not one that kids look up to that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got to be like some kind of like, now maybe in the next picture book we'll follow Belle and Belle will find Burry.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
Like
Undoubtedly.
yeah,
Buriaga's alive.
like on Irem or somewhere else. Like
Mhm.
yeah. Um
Maybe
Maggie
Buriaga's
said
in
I
the
took
Between
crying
Worlds.
breaks, but that was about it. Yeah, Maggie, I remember you posting the photos.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
The TikTok,
The
the
TikTok.
before
The
and
TikTok.
after
I've seen the
face.
TikTok.
She was posting it in High Republic discussion too, like in our
Mhm.
Discord server, and I was just like, "Oh, Maggie."
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had to
Midnight
do a little bit of.
Horizon, I made myself read it slower because of how much I was enjoying it. I'm like, I
Yeah.
want to savor this
Mhm.
so bad. I
I will
want it
s-
to be 10 hours longer.
I will say this. The thing about Midnight Horizon is it starts off slow,
Mm.
but it picks up really fast. Like
Yeah.
once they leave for Corellia, like it's game on and the
Yeah.
book just is rapid fire.
I'm thinking about Ram's stupid accent now. I can't-
That 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 damn accent. I love
that-
it.
There's so many little things
the
that
way
just
that
like reminded me of Indiana Jones.
It
yeah,
did. It
Yeah.
really did.
the
It
way
was
that
like
Todd
Indiana
Haverforth
and
does
Short
the accent
Round.
bit.
Like, oh
The
yeah.
way the way that Todd Haverforth does the accent is the funniest shit ever because you can't figure out what he's trying to do.
I mean, he sounds French and
Yeah,
German and Italian at the same time.
it's ridiculous. You all
He's
right?
like, back off.
Ram saving the Bon Brack that was
Oh,
destined
I
to
thought
be
that was
the
great.
forbidden meal.
Thought
So
that
now
was
he's gonna be
great.
Bon Brack
Rem
X
keeps
crew.
going, shh. And like the bomb brat keeps going, shh.
It was so
This
cute.
It was.
this is
Now he's got a
Midnight
new
Horizon. I
friend.
think is the book that I would in the High Republic that I'd love the most to see like animated versions of.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
I'd love to
Especially
see
the
like
absolutely.
Ram and Wreath
yeah,
stuff.
please.
Oh, yeah.
They're so good.
And you know what? Make it a 2D animated thing. Like
Yeah.
I don't need 3D.
Sure.
I want Ram and Wreath in 2D animated
The
What
because
was
Galaxy of
the
Heroes
oh,
style.
or that Galaxy of Creatures style too. Like
Mhm.
yeah.
I'm okay with that because they're so goofy. Um, my last thought on Midnight Horizon, going back to the Canum Psi thing. I love that Comac just doesn't care about the mission anymore. He just wants to hear about
Oh,
Canum's love
Yeah.
life.
like
You
you can't leave me on a
rogue.
cliffhanger.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines in it is Comac going, "You rogue."
Yeah,
What he's
he's
talking
like, "You
about.
left the order?"
for this boy, you
Yes.
rogue.
Cantum's just like, yeah,
Yeah.
I did. Like, okay.
I love
And
Canton
then,
so much.
and then, like, he has them, like, they're on the speeder bike going to the police precinct.
Yeah.
And then Comac's like, well, it's going to take us a while to get there, so why don't you fill me in on more of your story? And like you get more of the story, and like as he's telling the story, I'm just picturing like Comac just like with his arms around him, like on the back of this speeder bike, just like with his head like kind of like pressed against him, like listening.
Yes. I love them. They're such a good. They're
Love
such a good like little team.
Yeah.
like the writing style, how Daniel did that with the like I noticed after the first or second like break into it, I'm like, this is good. This is
Yeah.
good. I like how
So good.
He's just telling the story.
it's like we're in a flashback, but like we're gonna
Yeah.
get into that flashback
Yeah.
because Kenton's like telling the story,
Yeah.
and I
This
love
this is
it a lot.
also my favorite way that Wreath has been written in this book.
Mhm.
I think
Wreath
Wreath
is
was written so well.
I will say this, after all the crap that Wreath has been through,
Yeah.
he deserves to get some lightheartedness that this book gives
Yes.
him.
And
Yeah.
him and Ram are the best.
Because Wreath really rediscovers himself through his
Yeah.
relationship with Ram.
Mhm.
Yes, and that's
And
it's
that's like
really
the whole
Ram
point
that
of the book.
it's really Ram that got him to the point where he could become a knight, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And also he's a knight now.
Yeah.
My boy. I'm so proud of him.
But yeah, I mean
He's all grown up.
the stuff with Ram and Wreath is just it's so good. It is comedy gold. Just read the book for that.
Yeah.
Reed's not a Padawan anymore. He
No,
can't act on any of those crushes.
I mean,
I mean, who's gonna
that
stop
didn't
him?
stop
Tomac?
Elzar.
Nope, we're not Padawans anymore.
We're not
Yeah,
Padawans
we're not
anymore.
Yeah.
Padawans anymore. But hey, that didn't stop Elzar.
That did not
I
stop.
mean,
That
I
did
mean,
not.
come on. The
Nothing
guy did the
stops
walk of
Elzar. Yeah.
the guy did the walk of shame during the attack on Valo.
Yeah, that was the funniest thing. We're
That's
not
all I'm
even
gonna
talking
say.
about the Rising Storm, but
That's
that
all
was
I'm gonna
so
say.
funny.
Like, if Elzar can do it, Reese Silas can do it. That's all I'm gonna say.
I
Yeah.
support Wreath Silas's exploits.
Just not with Nan.
Not with Nan.
No. And we didn't even really get to her, but who cares?
Okay, I like have one of those weird like I love her character, but I'm also okay with not seeing any more from her for a while. Like,
Yeah.
I know
you
she's
know,
gonna be in Edge of Balance Volume 2, but other than that, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm done with Nan for a while too. Like,
yeah.
I'm done with her. I'm done with most of the Nile, to be honest. Um,
I'll never have
Lorna
enough
D
of
is done
Lorna
with her
D, but
hand. There's so many limbs coming off in these books lately.
yeah, there are. Wouldn't be Star Wars without a good old fashioned dismemberment.
Yep. It's not just a Skywalker trait after all.
nope.
All right, well, I gotta go to bed here soon, people.
Yeah,
And
you're yawning.
yeah, well, no, I gotta be up at 3 in the morning.
I have a gaggle of girls having a sleepover in my house that I hope haven't destroyed anything.
Oh, I am so sorry, but I'm glad we could take you away for a couple hours.
Yeah, I know. I was really glad.
Yes.
Last I knew, they had face masks on.
Oh, well,
And
that's good.
yeah. So
Um,
hopefully it's not all over the carpet.
so that's going to be it for us this week. I'm definitely not done with Marky and Row. Don't get rid of the Nile yet, please. Oh, they're done. They're gone. That's it. And Marky Roo's
No more.
next.
Marky Ruse.
Marky Roo's next.
Marky Roo is Plagueis.
Yeah.
Marky
Hashtag,
Ruse.
hashtag Marky Roo is Plagueis.
You
Marky
might
Roo
need
is
this.
Anakin Skywalker's dad.
Oh my
You might
god.
need this.
God.
It
Now
all
I'm
comes
gonna.
back to the Skywalkers.
You know, I'm gonna get messages from Maggie now. Just because of my own crap, but because of. Okay, enough with the
Okay.
tinfoil.
She can send me her
Yeah.
you can't say Marky Roo is Plagueis and not expect me to put the tinfoil hat on.
All right. Anyway, that's gonna do it for us this week. Tune in next week for our Legend of Vox Machina show, and then also tune in for our RPG show the following night. That is it for us. Thank you once again for joining me. We are going to make a special announcement later this week. So stay tuned for that. Luna, you're not going to know what it is until I actually make the announcement.
Eh,
So do not bother me.
I'm not gonna.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Dang.
Maggie will actually be joining us next week for our Vox Machina episode. We are also working on doing a Society of Explorers and Adventurers episode as well to talk about that story that connects Disney parks as well as a Disney water park and Disney cruise line. So that is going to be it for us this week. I hope that you all have a wonderful week. Thank you for joining us. May the force be with you. May you always fight for light and life. And at the end of the day, remember that we are all the Republic. That's it for us, everybody. Have a good week. Bye.